Hey, Chris, Dragger here. What's up? Getting rolling here. Run this a second time here through. It's going to kill us. So waiting for guests to come on. Dale, what's up? Thank you. Happy Father's Day to all of you as well. Absolutely. Hey, Anna.
Hello.
We're the first to arrive of many, I think.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, that's good. Awesome.
All right. What button next? This one.
Your repurposed
Yeah,
carrier drifts through
Lots of
space.
buttons right in
too
this
many
getting
buttons.
things started.
Void.
Yeah.
Too many
Another
buttons.
ship comes in. Wait, is this sci-fi? I thought we agreed on a World
we
War
should
II
be good.
campaign.
And now it sounds like Phil Wirt's going to hop
Did
on
we?
it eventually as well.
Oh,
That's cool. I can
awesome!
pivot.
I love
Yeah.
him. He's great.
The
Yeah.
smell of smoke.
I
curls
love
in your
Ron too,
nostrils.
but
Hold up, I thought
I
we
have
were
had
prepping for a
more
zombie
interactions
apocalypse
with
campaign.
Phil. I've talked to him more than Ron because Ron was busy running
All right,
the
here's what we're
convention,
doing.
and
It's
Oh,
the year
okay.
Phil and me have
3700. Humanity's elite fled to other
managed
planets long ago,
to
taking
get
with
in
them all forms of
the same
advanced
car
technology.
more than
Earth
once.
survivors
More than
so
once,
far
yeah.
have smart
Yeah.
tools as weird
So
Taking
it's
the
as
whole-
awesome.
plague,
Yeah,
abandoned
so we've had
nuclear
chance
sites.
to
Witnesses
chat about
report
stuff. So
seeing
yeah,
glowing lights and the dead rising from their graves. And amidst the chaos,
and it's
three
been more or
strangers
less
will meet
pure
in a dim bar.
coincidence.
A
So,
veteran
yeah.
zombie slayer, a disgraced general out for revenge,
Nothing wrong
the
with that.
space mercenary sent
No,
to
it's
investigate the
awesome.
power plants. Now describe your characters. How did you do
Yeah, everyone out
that?
there, happy Father's Day to you all,
I
too.
have the right tools for
Yeah,
the
happy
job.
Father's Day. And I need to log into Twitch here.
We had a lot of celebrations last night and some today. What's up, Mike? Mike, how was that con up there? Central New York. I saw you had a post on it, so hey, Dale, thank you. Which is it's just great to hear. That may be in my wheelhouse for next year. You never know. It went well? Cool. How many people were there? 300? Nice. Cool, Dale. 200's good. That's a good start. Hey, Ron.
Hey, good evening.
Hello.
A story
Hi, Anna.
of
How are you?
once spoken,
Oh, good. How you
is
doing?
ageless.
I'm good. I'm good. I mean,
The dungeon
I did,
imagined without
I
end.
just got back from a little game convention in central New York.
Oh, you went there
State.
too? Yeah, I was just talking to
Okay.
just
Yeah.
talking to Mike Saxton.
Has to
That's
be.
good. You're
Yeah.
out
Chat
looking
here,
at
so
From
yeah.
stillness,
Yeah, the one, that's
mad
great.
rage is stirring.
Very, very cool.
From countless
It was
voices,
okay.
There you
muscle takes
It was
shape.
okay.
It's not
Zach's
as good as
protests
Paige, no.
were enduring.
Oh no, it's not about that. I mean, it was just.
We'll never
I'm just
It
kidding.
was smaller.
Well, I'll leave it at this. So.
We're live, by the way. They can hear you. As we talk over our ads, so it's okay. I mean, it was the first time for him, though, wasn't it?
It's nothing to do with that. It was, I ran a game from 10 to 2, and then I was scheduled again to run a game from 2 to 6, and then I ran the auction from 6 to 8.
See, attending conventions can be difficult. A lot of
Yeah,
work too.
'cause-
Not only running them, but attending them too.
You can, because you got a lot going on there. By the way,
there were no breaks. That was the point, and it was loud.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Bones.
loud is a problem in a lot of conventions, but that's more. I guess that's one of the points I think we should discuss because that's also something that has to do with the venues that are tough, so to speak. That might not be done constructed for our use case, so to speak, as a convention. As
True,
gamers.
True. How you doing there, Bones?
Exhausted.
Yeah? Oh, family over?
Yeah, we went and did like the amusement park stuff yesterday, so
Wow.
I'm pretty wiped.
Oh, man.
Well, with a 13-year-old, an 11-year-old, and a 7-month-old baby. So
Wow. I hope they all had fun.
they had a blast, and the baby
Oh,
was
great.
great. She was so good, and
Yeah, because
It's a lot for a baby, but she slept
Yeah.
most of the time anyway in her
That's good.
pram.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but the kids had fun, and I rode some rides. So
Yeah?
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. So we're here, we're living.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Very, very cool.
yeah.
Hey, darling.
Hello.
Hello,
Good
hello.
morning.
Where's Chuck, you might ask?
Well, he's usually not the first one to show up.
He's like, he calls me at, first of all, we're supposed to have a meeting at 9. I can call him out, because I always do. We're supposed to have a meeting at 9 o'clock, and it's like 9:35, and he calls me on the phone. Oh, man, yeah, I just running late. How did you let me schedule something on Father's Day? I'm like, well, dude, like, you didn't know it was Father's Day? Is that my fault? Oh, my God, my wife's giving me all this crap. We're supposed to go out to eat and all. I'm like, well, Chuck, that's your own fault, man. Like, what do you want me to do, man? I'm not a mind reader, you know?
Let's be honest. Chuck's wife's not. She's not mad that he's not going out on Father's Day. Come on.
Yeah.
No. She's awesome too, so yeah.
Yeah, so it's Chuck.
That was
giving-
funny. That's funny. Yeah.
But, you know, I use that to get better gift certificates out of him for giveaways. So, you know, I use it
Yep.
to my advantage. So,
Yep.
Oh Jesus!
come on, I'm just giving away some of the inner secrets here. Nah, Chuck's cool. But he should be on probably. As you two log off after that first hour, he'll probably be on that. So we're good.
That's how I always see Chuck is even in person, in passing. I always see him in passing.
That's it. You see him in passing, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Where did he go?"
Yeah, two ships in the night.
Yep.
He's the tanker in the two ships.
Scenario.
Yep.
Very cool, Michael. I hope you have fun with that. And I don't know if you didn't catch yesterday. Yesterday's game was crazy.
I heard.
Yeah, they were awesome. Two brand new players. Bella's Deadly and Rogue Chick. They were awesome. They fit in real well with the group.
Right on.
So they get some more people out of the community, which is always great. Whew. Okay, what you saw? Yeah, well, all lady casts tend to do that, you know. They do. Especially when they're going to rescue all the guys.
Well, women's work is never over.
That's it. Yeah, I finally got these. I finally got some new emotes there. There, I got a critical hit and a fumble emote. And finally got those.
I thought that you already had one.
Not those spinners. I had other crits, but I got those. And they're cool,
Oh, I
but they
see.
spin. What's up, Rob? I know Phil said he's going to be eventually coming on too, which is cool. So, what am I hitting? You can never find Rob's shout out. There you go. Alrighty. Good.
Godspeed.
Godspeed. That's it. That's a spell. Third
good.
edition. It's a third edition.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, my brain shut off.
That's great. I cast Fireball.
Sounds like
Not
a
asking
cleric
how big
spell
the
to
room
me.
is.
No, never. Why would you do that?
Oh my
I think
god. Who
In the
wrote?
player's handbook, it says that.
Oh my god, I just had like a stroke or something. Who wrote
You
Return
smell
to Temple?
toast?
Yeah, who wrote Return to the Temple of Mental Evil, Anna?
Oh, Monty Cook.
Yeah, Monty Cook. It's a Monty Cook book, Godspeed. It's
Uh-huh.
third edition, third level cleric spell. It's
I was gonna say it sounds like a cleric spell.
I was
Yeah.
going to say, if there's something is a cleric spell, that one must be.
yes, there, Gary. We got a ton of people going, so let's talk about it. Oh, thanks, Wayne. Holy jeez. Let's go in and catch all this up here. We're a little early, but who cares, right?
4 minutes.
Sound good? Everything good? We're all good here. Awesome. Let me get the giveaway going. So we got two $25 gift certificates from Choler Games. Okay, that's up! Exclamation point drawing. Good evening. Got a really fun discussion tonight as we got special guest. Ron's been on before. Ron Meischker. I can never say your second name, Ron. Meischker. Is that
That's
right?
That's correct.
There you go.
I bet you Anna could properly pronounce
Yeah,
it.
probably. She doesn't have
yeah.
a South Jersey accent though, like us.
No,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah. Meischke. Yeah.
Ron Meischker from Page, and we got Anna, of course, and we got 2 new special guests. VIG is that Ron? How do you pronounce at Page? VIG special guests.
Special guests.
Special guests. Both Little Bones, and Darling Creepshow are going to be special guests this year, already announced. So we're going to talk about what's new and what's coming up for Page and all the stuff that we're doing for Greyhawk and some of the other fun things. Just have some fun tonight. Take questions, talk about D&D, and all the other things that are going on. So let's introduce everyone. Let's start with our 2 new special guests, lady guests, which we all know from the community. So Bones, take it away.
Hey, hello, that's me. I'm Bones. And I'm your favorite indie gamer who also happens to be a tabletop author and GM. That's what I do. I do things.
You do, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm super stoked for Paige.
And you're also a cog in the Tower of Gygax at GaryCon.
I am, and I have told Curtis already that I will, in fact, be running a slot for Tower Gygax.
Nice, you're gonna be DMing there
year.
too. That's
Awesome.
awesome.
Yes,
That is
Great.
Well, it was to that conversation. I have to give Anna the credit. We got to have we had a good chat. Yeah.
Yeah, and you saw how it's done now. So you've seen all the bad mistakes and that we've done over a whole convention now. So yeah.
Yes.
Who makes mistakes? I don't make mistakes.
Anna doesn't make mistakes, by the way. First of all,
yes.
No, you're perfect and you've never done anything wrong in your life. But
yes, many.
Here comes GaryCon live in too. Thanks.
Yeah, but we
There
got
are even
to have
some reports of,
Thanks,
of
Garner.
stuff that I've done, but they're secret, thankfully. Yeah.
Thank God. No, yeah, I got to have a really good conversation with you, Anna, and I was very inspired. I was like, okay, I can do that. That's easy. And so yeah, I'm stoked for being able to run some first edition for anything really.
And you played in it so much that you really you get it now, right?
Yeah.
It's so easy.
Well, it was broken down really easily by Anna, and it was very much you don't have to think so much about it.
Thank you.
Rules are there, but
Yeah, and also Tower of Gygax, we have to explain to people who haven't been there and played it. It's this special event where you're supposed to take the character. You're supposed to kill as many characters as possible.
Yeah.
So you should make it a hard slog going through. So it doesn't require campaign building, world building skills and stuff like that. It's that more technical side and to make it into a fun show, so to speak.
Yeah.
And now you've seen it done so many times, and you're immersed into it, so
Countless
you can do it.
times.
Yeah, so you can do it.
I'm going to throw up, even though we're talking Page, we're going to have pictures from last year's Page, and I'll throw this up there too. I haven't found the other one, but here we go. There you go. There's a good pick from Page.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, Coco, myself, Bill, and you. There you go at the Tower Gygax area.
Yeah.
So
Great.
welcome to the discussion tonight. Thank you so very much. And like I said, GaryCon Live, thank you, Garner and crew over there. Hang out. We got 2 giveaways from Troll Lord. And if you're in the East Coast or not in the East Coast, you want to come to a con in January, this is a good one to go to. So we'll talk about, I can't even reach it. I'm going to dislocate my bad hip. I'm sorry. There we go. So we'll talk about that very shortly. But Darling, welcome.
Hi, hello. You know me. I'm Darling Creepshow. I'm your resident creep on Twitch. And over on my channel, I paint miniatures as well as produce and play in tabletop games. And I'm excited to be here.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And here's a great picture with us at GaryCon.
Look at those cool guys.
You, me, and Eric Mona.
Yeah.
All going to be a Page.
Yeah.
So.
That's going to be fun. I've already been conspiring with Mona.
Oh, beautiful.
No.
Don't worry.
We're all in trouble now.
That is great. That is great. And we got that. So that's one of the things I'll talk about is we have a doubleheader day where Eric's playing my game in the morning and I'm playing Eric's game afterwards.
Nice.
On Saturday. Or is that Friday?
So he can get revenge.
That's Friday. Yeah. So what were you going to say? What are you saying, Bones?
So he can get revenge on you?
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But it'll be a blast. So we'll talk about that too. Hey, Action Surge. So, and thanks for going through level 3 on the hype, everyone. Really appreciate it. I got that set up too. Alrighty, Ron. Back
Good evening.
for year 3 coming up.
We are.
Yeah. Year 3.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Of course.
It's always great to see Anna, and it's my first time actually talking to Bones and Darling, so very exciting stuff there.
Very cool. And it's going to be a fun one this year because I think this is when the floodgates open up, right?
We'll see.
Well,
We'll see.
that's
I
kind of the
mean,
idea, right? Is to get because the amount, like, to be honest, there are guests I don't know who they are coming, which is cool. I mean, there's a lot. You got a lot this year. You have over 100.
we'll top 100. We're not quite at 100 yet.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. That's
Yeah.
that's a fair number, but you know, how many did you have year one?
I think it was like 30. And of course that was a ton of fun year one.
Yeah.
We kicked things off, and our team, we were talking about, well, how many people are we shooting for? I'm like, I'll be glad if we get 300 or 400 people, and next thing you know, we're cruising over 500, and like, okay, I'll be okay if we get 600 people, and then next thing you know, we got close to 900 people in year one, and you know, I'm sorry, we got 1,100 people in year one. Forgive me,
Yeah.
1,140 people in year one, and then year two, it's like, oh, hopefully we'll get 1,400, and we ended up with over 1,800, despite the blizzard that came in on Sunday. So, um, good times, and we like having a lot of industry guests, large and small, well known and soon to be well known, and to us, it's important. It's like when you're choosing where your kids are going to go to school, you're looking for a good teacher to student ratio. We like to have a good guest to attendee ratio because, so often uh, everybody has their fans for their online programs or their blogs, uh, their podcasts. Well, now the fans, get a chance to talk with some of the people they see online all the time, and they follow, and it takes things beyond the, oh, I can't wait to tune in and see the program tonight and see what everybody's doing. Now it's actually get to interact with them. So
Exactly.
it's always been a good thing that page, and we're excited to keep expanding it.
And I got to say, I'm honored to be one of the original 30. So third time. Yep. Yeah.
That's right.
It's going real well, and you know, last year was really exciting. I brought my son for the first time last
Oh,
year.
he had a blast. So many cool stuff.
Yeah.
What he did. Yeah.
So did Bill's son and Tim's son
Yep.
and Michael Zudrak's kids. Kid friendly. I didn't bring him the first night, but my wife dropped him off on Friday night, and then he played in a lot of stuff on Friday night and Saturday. So we'll show some of this. A lot of those pictures are scrolling through. Why don't we start with this with our two new special guests? First time, right? Invited to a con like this. What are you excited? What are you looking forward to, or want to have a question with Ron about? You know what I mean? Like, for doing it for the first time.
I'm really excited just to be able to meet a lot of people that I respect in the community that I don't necessarily get to see at GaryCon. And to finally run a game at a con. This is my first time actually running a game for a convention.
Beautiful.
All of my games that I run are for actual plays. And so this is going to get a little wacky, I think, and we're going to have a really good time with it.
It's beautiful.
I'm not running D&D. I'm really sorry, everyone. We're running Spaces Between, which is a horror tabletop game. So
no, it doesn't matter. I mean,
Yeah, it's
really.
really
Run
good,
something.
yeah.
That's
Without-
the important
Yeah.
thing.
Any system, it's good to try other systems out.
Yeah, well,
100%.
I really adore. I'm friendly with the creator of the game, so I get to promote something that I really fell in love with by a really small creator and designer. So I get to expose people to that. So yeah, it's gonna be a really good time.
You
I mean,
played that on,
that's
is that what you GM'd on my channel?
I did. Yep,
Yeah,
that
that's what I
Spaces
thought. Yeah,
Between. Yep.
I had a lot of, I had a blast.
It's a really cool, simple system that is really easy to learn. You can age it down really easily for kids and kind of get them into something that's like non D&D core. So yeah, it's a cool game. I'm excited.
A question for Ron about the con from
Mhm.
you there, Bones. What do you think? Like,
Oh gosh, I don't know.
when do I get there?
No, the one I get there is done and PTO's been submitted already, actually. So,
Oh, sorry. My headpiece is way up here, Drosarius. That's why you couldn't hear me. Sorry. Yeah.
but yeah, no, I think I'm just ready to get there. I don't know if I have any questions yet,
Okay.
but I'm maybe through the conversation we'll
Yeah,
have some.
sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Darling, what about you?
I'm excited to just go and hang out. I've got quite a few people from my community personally that's going to come
Yep.
and to get to be a part of games and run games and hopefully get on some panels this year and get to talk about things that I'm really passionate about and the things that are important to me and maybe impart some advice to people who are on their way going down a similar path that I've tread. So I'm excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. I know a lot of people that are going to be there already, and it'll be cool to see, like Bones said, some new and fresh faces that I haven't seen at GaryCon that will maybe get to come out because this is on the East Coast.
And there will be a lot of them, like Mike Saxton. I'm trying to think of names of people who don't go to GaryCon that I know that are there. Michael Zudrak from Frog God. And he usually has his whole family there. My gosh, who else? Who else did I see? There's got
Joe Block is there.
Joe Block, yeah, Joe Block.
Yep.
Joe Block's another one.
Yep.
Gronard.
He's part of running the.
Yeah,
he's helping you run too with stuff, right?
Yeah, Joe's our vendor room captain.
Yep.
Yeah.
Page. So
Yep.
you know, he's the one who tells people to get out of the vendor room when it closes, and helps us keep things organized there. And you know, Joe's been a great supporter of the conventions, you know, from day one, and you know, good guy, and a good ambassador for the convention, both at the convention itself and elsewhere.
Yeah, runs a lot of events and run a booth and stuff. So that's great.
A highlight last year was running the battle. My love the love of my Greyhawk in a war game, the Battle of Emerald Meadows, where my campaign started. I know you were there watching, Anna, and Troy was
I was
watching.
There a couple hours, and I must say it looks amazing, and it's definitely the core of Greyhawk, so to speak. Even if it's not technically D&D, it's a war game, but it's super, super cool.
And the cool thing was, and I got some pictures here, was my son got to play, there you go, in it as well. And, you know, Thrommel's alive.
Yeah,
right.
50 millimeter miniatures with the right heraldry on them, which is so cool. They are dressed in the heraldry and equipped properly. So,
And Rob Phantom was, we were on the same team. We kicked the shit out of the humanoids in that match.
Won. Yep.
Yeah, we snuck the elves into the woods and ganked a lot of their leaders. It was a good time. So Joe's got this. It's fun. There's a lot of other things that he does, but Joe is really good. And I know Joe was up at Central New York this weekend with you. I saw, right, Ron? He was up there too.
Yeah, he and Mike Saxton were up there. To try to think who else was up there of note. We had George Hardy and Cyrus Dwayne there. You know, a couple of the Troll Lord guys.
Oh, really? Didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, they do a lot of work for
Pete Flagg.
Work for Chuck.
Troy, did you go up there too?
Troy wasn't there.
No. Okay.
Pete was there. Pete. You know, Pete keeps me alive at conventions, so you know, he makes sure you know, I'm eating and drinking, and he basically is the mouthpiece for my wife to pester me to take my insulin and things like that. So.
Oh, jeez.
It's always
Yeah.
good to have a handler.
It is.
We all should have that. That's recommended for conventions.
I was gonna say, Creep and I are each other's handlers.
Yep.
Yeah, and that can be scary though sometimes with you
Yep.
two. You know.
So darling, do you
Just
run?
kidding.
Whoa, what are you trying to say
I'm
there, Jay?
kidding. I'm kidding.
Normal girls.
Say it. Can you say it loud enough for the back of the class, Jay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Go ahead, Ann. I'm sorry.
So no, darling, do you run any games or stuff like that? Any
So,
plans? Yeah.
I'm
Seminars, yeah, or something.
Kurt is my handler, and
Mhm.
Kurt's coming along with me, and we are bringing the worlds from my channel with me. So we
Cool.
have our own world built for Shadow Dark that we play in that have some pretty substantial NPCs in it. I
Yeah.
will be actually playing in that game as my NPC Vedma, which I'm sure quite a few in the audience know who she is. She's a fucking nightmare. And Bones and I are working on some things to bring in a new character into the world for her to play in this. And then I also have a cyberpunk universe essentially that I've been creating where all of the cyberpunk games that take place on my channel are all set in this ongoing universe, starting with our first game that was set in 2020 and now our game set in 2077. So we're going to bring a little mini adventure in there from our universe that has some of our characters going on in that. So I'm pretty excited about those.
Lots of fun things to
Awesome.
play.
Yeah.
And we, by the way, we don't care that if it's not Greyhawk. We want you all still in the tables in our section.
I don't know. It
person.
sounds like you don't want us around you.
I do. No, of course I do.
So crazy.
Of course I do. We want everyone who's whether you're playing a Greyhawk D&D game or not. So
to be clear, based on this, I'm to ignore that previous email you sent me, Jay.
yeah, he's lying. He's not even, look at the look on his face. Man, if we were playing poker, I would call your bluff. What?
Nice girls that are normal.
Troy, come on, man. That now you're really going too far. Of course, yeah. See, no. Right now it's
Don't
at
worry,
5.
Troy.
Right now it's at 5 tables. If we could put in a 6, that would be great.
Don't worry, Troy. We'll torment him for you.
Yeah,
We're really
we
good at that.
got Eric Mona. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Eric Mona, Tony, Jeremy, Tony's fiance, Eric Boyd, Eric Mengi. I'm not sure if Eric Mengi's coming as a guest or not, but he may be coming still.
If Eric Mengi is planning on coming, he should reach out to me.
I'll reach out.
We'll make him a guest. Yeah,
okay, cool.
Absolutely.
All right. Sounds good. Hey, Troy, whatever, man. Whatever you got, it's all good. No problem. So, yeah, we're going to have a blast. We're going to have a blast there. And try and get as many community members as we can to on here to come because it's casual, just like Gary Con. It's fun, and it's not in Philly, so don't worry about that. Right? It's outside Philadelphia, and
free parking, inexpensive hotels.
Yeah.
It's plenty of room. We added another 80,000 square feet at the convention center from what we had last year.
That's a lot.
So now we're going from 32,500 feet to 118,000 feet. So we're making the big jump this year in terms of real estate, and registration's been very strong. I mean, it's early, but we have twice as many people registered right now as we did this time last year. And we've got plenty of events in. There's still more coming in, and people are so quick to say, "Oh my gosh, why do you start everything so early? Why do you do everything so early?" Well, it seems to be working for us. So our single seat event tickets for our gold badge holders, that selection process begins on July 1st. So there's going to be some more activity coming up, and we're just about sold out at both the hotels. So we've
closed hotels. Yeah.
both hotels. Yeah. So we're opening up blocks, several hotels around the area, just so we have capacity.
So is that for any games that are put in Thursday night for the single seat gold?
No, the gold badge holders simply get to pick first.
Oh, okay, that's what you meant. Okay.
But what we're going to do is in past years, the gold badge holders had an exclusive Friday or Thursday night time slot.
Right. Yeah.
But as you know, Jay, because you were there, and there were like 200 people like standing around like Thursday night that didn't have gold badges, like watching the festivities, and you walk through there and you go, I can't.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So what we've done is we're opening the convention up Thursday, but there will be some games at 7 p.m. on Thursday that'll be exclusive to gold badge holders. But meanwhile, there will be other games going on throughout Thursday as well, so everybody can be involved with the fun, whether they have a gold badge or not on Thursday night.
Let me see here. I think I submitted mine for Thursday, but it doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do, Ron. So this Children of the Fallow Fields I said it just like last year for Thursday night, but wherever it is, so they're going to be a mix at the convention center and at the Hilton, or all at the convention center.
What time is that game that you have set? 7 o'clock.
7.
That'll probably be a gold badge holder event.
There you go. Cool. Yeah. 7 o'clock. Yep.
Cool.
6 tickets. Yep. So, and that one didn't have any guests already in on that one with we'll talk about those where we're going to have an interaction between some groups that we already have in the campaign and people that can come in and play with them, just like we do at GaryCon. Nice. So, yep, it'll be a blast. So, Anna, what are you like? What are you doing? What are you going to do there this year? You only DM'd once. You should DM more than once this year.
Yeah. I want to run some shorter pickup games or something as well.
Okay.
And I will probably have maybe I'll try and have 2 seminars. We'll see. It depends, because Hawk Tales will probably be ready enough that I can actually talk about it more in detail, so to speak. So far, it's just been early alpha, but now I'm writing together the second alpha that is almost complete. So there will be, and then I would have run it at 2 conventions when we get to page. So there will be definitely more, and hopefully I can have PDFs and stuff ready so people can read, and a couple of printouts and stuff. So we will have passed 100 sessions by then. So that means that it will be almost battle ready, so to speak. So yeah,
beautiful.
I think it's unfair to characterize what Anna runs as she only ran one event. If I remember correctly, wasn't it an 8-hour event, Anna?
Oh, it was a 6-hour event that turned out to be more like an 8-hour game. Yeah. So almost, yeah. So and it was a lot of fun. So we ran it with 6 level players. The characters were 6 level, and we went on and we took on Iusians and stuff. So it's fun. So we can. My goal is to. It depends on if we get some of the same players. We bring back the same characters, and we continue the story where we took it from last year, so to speak.
What she's not telling you, though, is she had to deal with one of the most difficult players of all time, the ever mysterious Tim.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but
playing
it was
that game.
Good. I sent the troll on him. He's played the wizard, or the arcane archer, so to speak, or arcane caster. So, but he was the most offensive because I have a spear and I have a little bit of combat ability. So he ran in against the goblins, but up in the roof there was a troll sitting and jumped on him and almost wiped him out. Almost immediately. So yeah.
And that was great because you had Michael and his son, Bill and his son, and Tim and his son all playing in that game.
It was like a family game.
Yeah.
So it was great. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So at least I had a blast, and people they seemed to like it. So yeah.
One sec here, I got picks.
And Anna, ran one of the most popular seminars, very sought after seats in her cartography seminar. So.
Yep. That will be. I will have a substantial
me
part
see.
of Greyhawk redone by then.
Oh,
That will in much bigger detail. Meaning the current pixel size is almost a mile
Alright.
on the current map, and now it will talk
Porta
50
potty.
feet per pixel.
Oh,
so,
not-
yeah,
not- yeah.
porta potty. It was
Ah,
like it's a
there
tenth
we
of a
go.
porta potty, but not. It's a complete new beast, so to speak. So I'm getting there. I had a monitor malfunction yesterday, so I have to
that's
order a
not
new
one.
monitor. It broke down, so I'm down to one.
Oh, it did break.
Monitor.
Oh, I'm
Oh
sorry to
yeah,
hear
but
that.
it was 15-year-old monitor, so
Yeah.
I knew it was going soon, so I knew what
There
to
you go.
order, so I ordered a new one. Yeah,
There's
that we
pictures
have.
of your game.
Mhm.
There's
Yep,
pictures of it.
yep.
Uh,
So it's my version of D&D, so to speak.
There's
It's
Tim
more
and-
I would
Tim and
I
Michael.
would categorize Hawktails as my attempt to a 6E in that sense, taking all the my previous experience of all the D&D versions I played and Pathfinder
Michael.
and tweaked it into what I like, so to speak. And so far, it's a different beast from most D&D, but on the other hand, D&D players will feel at home at least partially, so to speak. So that is yep. Yeah, thank you, Pat. Yeah, it's so I've decided to go heavy and invested in a $2,000 new monitor. So I hope that I can still stay here for a bit longer. Yeah. Mhm.
From this game that Anna did, one of the most iconic Tim. I got an emote out of it. That picture,
Yeah.
they took a picture. That picture Tim, I think Michael Zudrak took. He gave it to me.
Yep.
Like, I'm making
Yep.
a freaking emote out of that.
That is so cool because that is so close to the character he played in the game too. So it really fits.
Yes.
you know what the good thing is? I could double as a cosplay of Forrest Whitaker as well.
Yeah, with the eyeball. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Or what's the guy? Who's the guy who was like the Igor guy in Young Frankenstein? Same guy. Yeah.
Yes.
What was his name? It's gonna drive me crazy.
It was the Igor guy. That was
the Igor guy. Yeah, Marty Feldman. Thank you, Wolf.
Oh,
Yes, good
yeah.
job. Good catch on that.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we got a lot.
So thank you to Bill and Michael Zudrak and Tim
job.
and everybody who played in my game. Yeah, I had a
Gotcha,
blast
Stefan.
and also got some good insights. And that was the important to run game. When you run games at a convention, especially when you run a game system that you keep developing, is that you learn so much from running games at the convention. And I can also recommend to everybody who's on the fence whether they should run a game at a convention, you should, because you get the best motivated players, because the players have invested time and money and have expectations when they go there, so they want to really play. If you just go to a game store or online, people can say, yeah, I can sign up, but these are people, you get the most motivated
Comes Phil.
fans of the genre, so to speak, that plays at conventions. So it's very rewarding. Welcome.
What's up, Phil?
Hey, everybody. How are you?
Good to
How are
see
you?
again.
Darling Bones, I don't know if you saw, Phil was at GaryCon. So yes, Phil was there. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So welcome.
I
We
gave
need to-
Anna a ride to the airport.
Yes, exactly. That. Yeah.
We need to talk about something though, Phil.
Okay.
Oh,
You need to coordinate with me what you're wearing when we're on the same.
Oh, you got
podcast.
Oh my
We're not wearing
god.
the same
That's
thing.
okay.
on the same page. Yes.
That's okay.
You guys are on the
I'll
same
just do
page.
this. I'll just do this with a poster. There.
Yeah.
All right. So there you go.
Here you go, Jay.
So Phil, why don't you please introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. My name's Phil Wirt. I am the director of operations for the Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo. Sorry, I'm a little late. We were at the restaurant for Father's Day,
It's all good.
and the dessert came late. So
We see
here I
Chuck's
am.
not on yet either, so don't worry about
Yeah, well, that's
Listen. I don't know if you're going to see Chuck on.
Oh, why? Because I heard the story already.
He owes his event submissions.
he does.
Okay.
He does.
So he's
He's
going to duck and
hype.
dive. He's here's what he's doing. He's like this.
Yeah, well, it's Chuck. You got to understand that.
He's like this. He's like, oh man, is Ron still on there? I can't. I gotta wait until he logs off before I log on there.
He's in chat right now, probably on his way home.
Why is that
Lies.
such a good Chuck impersonation?
Yeah, he's in the
Get
chat
on
now,
here,
so he's
Chuck,
on his
and then
way.
you can
Yeah.
defend yourself. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool, man. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. So GalleryCon was great this year, Phil, and
It was
Page
fantastic.
2025 was awesome. So we're just looking forward to 2026.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I am looking forward to being a normal human being again after I get my second hipper done August 12th.
Yeah, you will run around the convention talking to everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
And by the way,
Yes.
a funny story. I know I've shown it to a lot of people, but at the end of our one stream, I was like, I got this 14-inch scar here. Anyone want to see it? And Donnie Bone's like, yeah, hell yeah. It's like, right? No.
Imagine next to you, we'll have
Absolutely.
2 of those. So yeah.
Darling's looking like. Did you see the expression there?
Yeah, she just.
I never said that.
She did say it. But yeah. So I want to get that done. I want to get this all done and passed in my life. 3 major surgeries in a year isn't enough. So
Yeah.
but
I
to be
would say
normal
so.
again, absolutely fourth. All right. So
Phil had major surgery within the last 365 days. Phil, do you want to fill us in on the surgery that you had?
You mean the hernia surgery I had last June? I think that's what you're talking about.
oh,
No, not the hernia.
Oh, not
surgery.
the hernia surgery? Oh, you mean
Yeah.
the other surgery? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. No, I would not like to fill anybody in on that. Thank you very
oh
much.
boy.
Yeah. No, it was I'm gonna be
the big
50
V. It was the big V.
The big V.
Oh,
Yeah.
vasectomy.
Yes.
We're allowed to say that on the stream.
Yeah. I'm 50 tomorrow, as a matter of fact, it's my birthday, and it was time to.
Snip it.
Yeah.
It's okay. That's why we have, the D's nuts emote for that, just that purpose there, Phil. So you're good.
Okay.
All right. So
All right.
no
Good.
worries
Yeah,
about
happy
it.
birthday,
I mean-
Phil.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Absolutely. I understand the male issues too. So
Mhm.
cancer is nothing to sneeze at, and thank God they caught it early and they got it removed. So, but it was still a nightmare.
Yeah.
So all right,
Yeah.
back to happy times here. So
Mhm.
plans. Ron, tell us a little bit, and then we'll go into what we want to do with Greyhawk. Tell us about what's happening with the convention center and how things are moving around a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, during the first 2 years, we rented halls D and E at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center. They're 2 of the smallest halls there. Grand total of about 33,500 feet, and we had 20,000 feet of gaming and 12,500 feet of vendors. Well, those 2 halls are now all vendors for year 3. Many of whom, that includes an artist alley, local crafters, local small business, things like that. And in addition to, national brands such as WizKids and Trollord and
WizKids. Was WizKids there last year?
no, but they'll be here this year.
Wow.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Dwarven Forge will be there as well.
Wow.
Our friend Phineas Goo, and he's bringing the Gooey Cube team to the convention, and we've got a lot of cool stuff going on in our vendor area. We have a dedicated demonstration area this year, and then we've got 80,000+ square feet of gaming space this year, including 7 smaller segregated areas where we'll be holding our auction and seminars and panels. So some of the noise problems
Yeah. That was my
we
only
had,
issue.
Yeah.
With the
So
convention.
they'll be segregated, as well as some special guest games will be in some of these smaller rooms as well. So we're really looking forward to the evolution of the convention.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds awesome, because that was my only caveat, was the seminars, that the audio situation was terrible for the seminars. The gaming was actually not that bad, because then you're sitting around the table and that you're talking to each other. But at a seminar, it's much wider, and there's also an arms race between the different seminars. When you have a loudspeaker, you tend to rake it up more and more, and then you hear the other ones, and so on. So but otherwise, yeah, that's part of the problem, because most convention centers don't seem to be constructed to have thousands of people yelling at each other at the same time.
You don't. It's very hard to get into a place that understands acoustics. And,
Yep.
high.
Yeah.
It's probably expensive too to make buildings with good acoustics.
Well, it is. I mean, I can give you a real world example. If you have a suspended ceiling in your basement, with grid and tile, that the cost on that material, not including the labor, might be $250 a square foot. It's not a lot. If you're going to get a
tens of thousands of square feet,
noise reduction coefficient tile that is going to absorb 100% of the sound that hits it, you're looking at $25 a square foot. And it's a significant change. And we just don't have those facilities in this region to do things like that. But I think we're going to be in pretty good shape this year, even in the gaming area, because the ceiling is so high, and to jump from 20,000 square feet of gaming area to 80,000+ square feet, there will be enough distance between.
Yeah, you can separate a few more feet between game tables.
Oh,
and I think that's all that's needed,
yeah.
because the gaming actually worked well last year. It was only the seminars that I had issues with.
Yeah. So we have that all squared away. We got got your note in the suggestion box afterwards, Anna, and we pinned it to the bulletin board with a little.
Well, yeah, you told me
a
at
little
the
red
convention
star.
that last year that you were going to fix it for next year. So yeah, you told me this year. So,
Perfect.
Yeah. Which is awesome. So yeah, that's because for me seminars is games. All right, but seminars, because gaming you can actually do outside conventions, but seminars with all the people, that's something you can only do in person at conventions. That's why I like seminars even more than games, because I can't technically put together 6 people in a room at a game store or my own home or go to someone else. That's more feasible to do, but to get 50 people and go to listen to all the other cool people in the business, to have all them in a room and talk to, that's something I only can get at in a gaming convention. So that's why seminars is the epitome of the game convention experience for me. And then gaming is the close second, so to speak.
Talk about
just quickly, the variety of seminars and panels that have been submitted for this year, outstanding.
Oh, cool!
Outstanding. We haven't quite sorted through them. I know Phil was working very hard today, making sure that our special guests are all marching in the same direction when it comes to their event submissions and things like that. But the next order of business is for Phil, myself, and Ed Stark, our special guest coordinator, to sit down and really figure out how we're going to, get all this seminar and panel programming on the schedule, because just some really outstanding things. And when you go from, you're just happy if you have something to fill in the seminar and panels time slots in year one, you're just trying to put together like an 8-hour track per day. Now, we could have 6 conventions worth of seminars and panels based on the submissions we've received this year.
That's always an issue at GaryCon too. The late seminars, they just can't fill them. And I remember, Ron, year one, there was a one about writing, and you're like, Jay, what? You're not doing anything now. Go up on the stage. I remember that. It was like, yeah.
And Jay, in fairness, I believe you showed up to run your seminar this past year an hour early and started running it.
That was year one.
Oh, that was that year.
That was year one. I ran it twice. I ran it twice.
You streamed it in 2.
I streamed it twice.
Separate. Yeah. Yeah.
That was it. Now I've only submitted one here, and that's What's New in Greyhawk, 2:00 on Saturday, and we put it for 2 hours. Eric, Mona, Anna, Carlos, Lysing, who's going to be there as well, Joe Block, and myself. We can't do that in an hour, the 5 of us, because we each talk for like 10 seconds. You know what I mean? So
Well,
we
we
put in
talked for like in half an hour each.
so we put in. I put it in for 2 hours. And that is the one there. That's the only one I have at 2:00 after my game on Saturday there. So just giving you an idea.
And that's the other thing that
Yeah.
I can recommend. If you're just remotely interested in being a creator, have a seminar, because that's when people can come and ask you questions and give you inspiration and stuff like that. So even if you're like terrified of the idea, I can highly recommend it, because you get a chance. People they want to hear from you, and they're genuinely interested in what you're doing, and you get lots of awesome friendly questions. I have never received any hostility from the audience at all at any convention. They are genuinely interested. They show up because they're interested in what you're doing, and they ask awesome good questions. You get a lot of good insight that you never thought of, that brings you forward, so to speak, and makes you better as a creator, and it boosts your creativity. So yeah, I can highly recommend it.
Let's ask a question for Darling and Bones again. How about this? Something you'd love to do outside of the box at this con, within the legal limits.
You had to add that. That was
awesome. No, I had to, because I know,
we're a very family-oriented show, Jay.
Yeah.
What are you suggesting?
Like for example,
I'm not picking up what you're putting down.
Well, I'll give you an example. Maybe they want to play in a Shadowlark game with Kelsey. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah. So.
That sounds awesome. she's excellent. She's so nice.
Yeah, she is. Right. Yeah.
Right. Man. Well, that's what I'm just throwing out there. Something like that. How about this? How about you get Eric to do a Munchausen game again? There.
I already told you, Jay, that Mona and I have been inspiring.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Hold your horses there, Jay.
I'm just saying. I'm throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Jay, are you revealing things?
Well, I'm just
trying to.
I'm just remembering things that have happened at previous Gary Cons.
Oh, Jay, he's just conjecture what he's doing himself, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What he's up to at late night. Yeah.
Something I definitely didn't get to do at GaryCon this year that I'm gonna do at Page is I will be bringing a cosplay for this year. So that's
cool. Excellent. I'm glad to hear that.
I'm gonna be spending a day in character as someone that quite a few people know, but I'm gonna keep it under my hat and be a terrorist in person.
Nice. That's fantastic.
You know, Phil loves GaryCon, and he's always talking to me about things that happen at GaryCon and how can, imitation's the sincerest form of flattery. How can we, improve upon it? And, so he wanted to bring in Satine Phoenix for her next wedding.
I know you're kidding.
I was like,
that might be a certain aspect.
That's not even funny. I'm laughing, but it's not funny.
Yeah, I was going to say that might take flattery when two steps too far.
Things are always funniest when they contain a strong element of the truth.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Shots fired. What just happened?
Ron,
what just happened? What just
Ron,
happened?
That's satire at the highest level. So yeah, for insiders. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a wedding at GaryCon during one of my games, and it went a little crazy.
An in-game wedding.
In-game. It was an in-game
a pretend wedding.
Pretend wedding. Yeah, absolutely. And we may have one at Page, depending on who's there.
Ooh.
In-game wedding.
Right, Darwin?
Yeah.
We could even have a real wedding at Page. I've got Pastor Derek on notice.
Oh,
on
cool!
Notice.
So that
got Wes as well.
Yeah, we got Wes, but I went to Pastor Derek with this one because the leaders of Order of the Amber Die. We're trying to push the envelope on that. At least Thea would like us to push the envelope on that. So we want to make the officiant available to them should they decide to do that.
That's good. Yeah.
And they are Pathfinder. Play it.
Yeah, they're Paizo's.
Yep. Yeah.
Great people,
Yeah.
local people, South
Yep.
Jersey people.
Yep. Maple Shade, I think.
Maple Shade and Vineland.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Nice.
Haven't connected with them. I was going to do a weekend at one of their games. We just haven't connected. Just not enough hours in the day, like usual. But
Let me tell you, when they say they're running a marathon game,
Yeah.
they are running a marathon game.
All
In
weekend.
fact, they literally broke Runehammer. They literally, he didn't make it. He didn't make it through the entire session.
I think their sessions are like 12 hours.
I was going to say, is the convention center open for gaming overnight, or do you close it off completely?
We're gonna close it off at midnight every night. But the hotel, we still have the space at the hotel where we have about 25 tables for people who want to do any open gaming at the hotel. And we also have, there's a large open lounge area there.
Oh yeah, exactly. In the foyer or the lobby, there's
Ron, the
20
dice
tables,
goblins take over that area though, with their hoarding of my precious,
That might be the thing after midnight.
What's wrong with dice goblins?
I was going to say dice goblins.
There's
sounds like a good idea.
high level dice goblining going on.
Yeah, like this one's worth $12,000.
Yeah, top collectors from around the country get together, and each one takes over a table.
Yeah,
love this.
And lays out their trade stock.
I love this.
And then everybody else comes around, and I'll be honest, there were some high level trades going. In fact, I made a couple this past year. But when you get people like Daniel Lawrence and Amanda Brasovsky and Craig Sipsey from Black Oak Workshop, me, you get these people that are major dice collectors there. You start seeing stuff that you just don't see anywhere else.
That's cool.
So,
and I got to meet Mike Neistel at the lobby and at night, so that was awesome. So yeah,
he'll be back this year. He's I don't know if anybody's been following
here's Amanda.
His great
his travel log.
His travel log, but he's been moving his family, himself and his family, from Austin, Texas to Portland, and the car blew up on the way there, and he injured his leg and ended up in the hospital. And
damn!
So
really bad turn of events for
bad luck.
So, I'm not saying we did. I'm not saying we didn't, but it's exactly the reason we have the gamer assistance program in place, and we're glad that Mike's going to be at Page in January, because he took a bad financial hit making that move.
That sucks.
Yeah. I did. And to back up what Ron's saying, I reached out to Mike just a couple of days ago to check in with him, because he had posted that he was going to have to cancel a lot of his con appearances because of his bad luck. And I said, can we still expect you for Page? And he wrote back and said, yes, Page 3 will be my first con. I have to cancel Origins, Gen Con, Gamehole Con. I forget, there was a fourth one that he had to cancel. And he said, but no, Page will be my first one. He said, because I now consider Page to be my home con.
Oh,
good for him.
So it was very sweet of him to say. And to reinforce what Anna said, so not only did I I was happy to give Anna a ride to the airport Sunday after Page 2. It was snowing very hard.
Yeah, it was pouring down, and Mike Neistel and me, we solved all the world's problems, and poor Phil had to listen to us go like crazy because we were like, "Whoa, this is so cool!"
Yeah.
At what point did Anna push you out of the driver's seat and said, "Let me drive"?
Oh my.
No, I was happy. Phil is a great driver, and I've experienced it twice in snowy conditions.
Right.
Now, so it's good.
I was like white knuckling the wheel, because if you know that area from the convention center down to the airport, once you merge onto 95, where you go off into the airport, I was going like 35 like the whole way. It was that bad, and they were completely. Annie was next to me and sitting shotgun, and Mike was behind her, and they were going off on every political topic you could possibly imagine, solving the world's problems, and I'm just trying to concentrate on the road so we don't all die.
Yes.
And as we got on the 95, I look over the median on the other side, and it was like overturned car, three cars crashing. There was like 5 or 6 accidents on the other side of the highway of people completely.
It was literally mayhem everywhere.
It's like, oh my God, I gotta get to the airport.
Yep.
But
and we were talking about all the other problems except the snowstorm because Mike Nestle and me, we just like, oh, this is so much fun, and we have so many interests together, and we needed to. So
all we needed to do was throw whatever mysterious Tim in that car of you. And then
oh damn, that would have been that Phil would have stopped
God.
and thrown us all out of the car.
Yeah, that's all good.
I have to tell you though, Mike's somebody that has been on the gaming scene for a long time.
Yeah.
Obviously Nistel's Magic Horror, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, who wrote the spell, Ron?
Yes.
Nistel's Magic Horror was written by whom?
I don't know.
Len LaKafka.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Mike, we brought him in the page, and what? He basically chained himself to a GM chair all weekend.
Yeah.
He ran every time slot.
That's awesome.
And full tables every time slot. It was really, something to behold.
I mean, and I'm. This is no, this is no disrespect to Mike. Someone that is probably been around the block like he has, worked in the industry for a very long time, still felt the need to be a marathon GM at the con, not because he wanted to, and B, he felt like he should. And so I've been consolidating all of the special guests, submitted events so far, and Mike has submitted, I think, at least 20 hours of GMing hours so far. He is literally a machine at the gaming table at a convention, just slot after slot after slot after slot. He's just sitting there, just plowing through it. I'm like, man, this guy is a cyborg. Like, I don't know how he does.
And you know what?
It's great.
The players loved his games. We were.
Can imagine.
Yeah, so it was great. It was great, and we're glad he's going to be with us in January.
Yeah.
So real quick, I had shit. Sorry, wrong button. Everyone can hit it. That was the Tim cutting the tongue out was coming. I flipped it off there. So I guess there's from Central New York right there. It looks like Eric Tenkar and Grok Grognard are there. I was scrolling down. I had Amanda's a picture up. The Dice Goblin. There she is.
There she is.
Now, her husband, Jared, plays in at least one game of mine each year for the last 2 years, which is cool. And he's a cool guy. And
nice guy.
He jokes about the dice people. He makes fun of them, which is cool. So, while he's drinking. So, he's definitely.
He must not be looking at the credit card bills then.
Yeah, well, happy wife, happy life, right?
Yeah.
So,
she's a what I would call an apex predator on eBay.
When it comes to dice. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, so I know we got Darling and Bones for like 10 more minutes. So let's.
Where's Chuck?
You just said it.
I'm just saying, where's Chuck?
I just sent him a message ETA and I got back crickets. Hey.
It's Chuck's superpower.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chuck's superpower is he's like
here's the nail being hit with a hammer.
I would like to throw out something that I would really like to see that's not necessarily like tabletop gaming.
Yep.
It is tabletop gaming, but it's not. My game Divine Violence is a game without actual mechanics. There's no dice rolling or any like technical mechanics. It's just role playing. I would love to sit at a table of individuals and just sit and just role play and just that's what I love. That's what I love about tabletopping tabletop gaming is the storytelling aspect, and would love to see just a group of people just role play through a story. That would be so much fun.
I think it's a great idea, and
Yeah.
you know, I'm not saying do it, but I would, besides your other game, do that as a second game. Maybe make
Okay.
it 6 people, and I guarantee you'll get it filled.
Yeah. Have
Yeah.
you ever played the game 10 Candles?
I have. Creep DM'd it for me once as like a in-person, like a girls trip that we were on, and she got
That's
to run it for me. Yeah.
Amazing game
Yeah.
Yeah.
from a role-playing standpoint. Like
Oh,
really, really
100%.
fun. Yeah.
It's really
100%.
fun to scare your friends with.
Yes.
Creep
Yeah.
can
Wilson.
tell you, and I will admit this fully. I write horror. I don't handle horror really well, but I can write it all day. When she was running that game, we're in the dark, obviously, and
Yeah.
every 10 minutes or so, maybe less. Creep, correct me if I'm wrong. Of me going, looking at the flying doors.
For me though, like 10 Candles is such an atmospheric game. Like I need to have a whole vibe around it, and I always like wherever the place is. So the first time I ever ran it was in the middle of the woods at like midnight. So it was all dark and we just had the candles for light, which was a little bit of a bitch when it came to reading your dice. At one point, one of the girls picked up the candle to read the dice and
No.
poured wax all inside of my dice tray, and I had a little moment of silence. And then the second time was for Bones and our good friends at a cabin in the middle of the woods at night. And so like and creating a story centering around where we're at to like really add to that atmosphere. And always like I'm very much so because I produce actual plays. I like very immersive, so I've always got like some kind of music going on in the background and like ambiance of some kind happening.
Yeah.
That is a fun game though.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can tell. I played it an awesome session ran by Jason Bullman at PAX Unplugged, and that was at 2 a.m. in the morning. He ran
Oh my
10
God.
Candles for
Yeah.
a bunch. Yeah, we were a bunch of industry insiders, so to speak, and he'd purchased the game like a day before, and he wanted to test run it, and that was amazing.
Yeah.
And he ran a really tough session, and yeah, I could, without spoiling any of how the game functions, no one survives.
That's the best
All going to
part.
die.
So
Exactly, you're
brutal.
all
No one-
going to
no
die.
one-
That's the best
and-
part.
It
Yeah,
was
and
waiting
it's-
for the death. That was crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I also love how the game is then that the core part of the mechanic is that you should try and steal the momentum for the
Yes.
players, because as soon as the game master gets the momentum, things goes to hell literally.
Yes.
And that struggle between the players and the DM brings that horror theme so well into the
Yeah.
game. So I must say it's a brilliantly designed game. Yeah.
Maybe I should learn how to run 10 Candles.
Hey,
It's so
I'm-
easy.
I'm such a
it's
wuss.
easy. It's
No,
easy.
but Little Bones, it's very similar to Tower of Gygax.
Yes.
In that sense that you should just literally
Just a
run
RP.
it
Just
down
do it,
until they're
yeah.
done. But the key thing is that you should try and grab the attention. When you can grab the narrative, then just send them straight off to wherever the nearest dark spot is, so to speak, and kill the characters.
Well,
I could listen to Anna saying "Little Bones" all day. I want to make. Could you say that again? I want to make it my ringtone.
Sorry.
That's good.
I have the absolute honor and privilege of my actual plays being produced by Creep, and Creep can tell you that there's nothing more that brings me joy than setting a narrative and just letting my players just run with it.
Yep.
Spaces Between is one of those kind of kookier games that you can do that with.
Yep.
The mechanics are so lightweight, and I got to watch some of the best Creep roleplay over a 3-session game of Spaces Between. It was so good.
Cat Johnson forever.
Ted Johnson forever. And but yeah, so that's what I want to see a lot more of at cons, is being able to sit down at a table together and do this storytelling aspect, the role playing of a role playing game.
Yeah.
That just brings me so as
Collaborative
a writer,
narrative like storytelling.
yes, and do that in, a short space. Okay, we only have 4 hours to get through this. What can we discover about these characters that we just made up just right now? And that's, I mean, that's the whole reason why I like tabletop gaming so much. It's
Yeah.
just telling a story.
It's such
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
so many different variants, so many different games out there. It's not just D&D anymore. There's so much.
No,
So much.
no,
Yeah.
no. And I did see Creature mention Skeleton Siege,
Yep.
which is a game that has no rules. You can roll dice if you feel like
Yep.
it. You only end the game once all of the skeletons are done sieging. Look it up on Twitter, it's great. So that aspect of it, of just hacking and slashing skeletons, is also very good. So maybe we'll play that.
I know you got to go shortly, but I want to ask this rhetorical question to both Darling and Bones of something that happened yesterday. So in chat, we have Magical Donut 27. Okay.
Oh, Lord.
I VIP badged him for 2 weeks just because of what he did yesterday. He cheered over the course of the game yesterday 8,400 bits to try and kill his girlfriend's character.
I love this. I fully endorse this behavior. Emotional terrorism is the core of my being, and Jay knows this.
Okay.
Oh, wait a second, Creep. Wait a second, Creep. Was it in benefit to you, Jay? Was
Oh,
it
yeah.
special point?
Oh yeah.
Still pretty funny.
Well,
See, I'm for it if I'm not in the game.
Yeah.
So it was hysterical. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. So one game, going after your, I think you live together. I mean, that takes some nerve. I just wanted to throw that out there. I wanted to see what your reactions were on that. So
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, it was
If anybody's
fun.
ever had the honor of watching me yell at Jay at 10 o'clock at night over him having too many special hero points?
Yeah.
It's a treat. Jay's the only person I ever get mad at in this space.
Yeah, but it's a mad in love, right? You're getting mad at me, but it goes away.
For sure, dude.
For
Yeah.
sure, dude. For sure, dude. I did wish you a happy Father's Day today.
Yes, I appreciate
so,
that. Thank you. Yes, we had a nice one. We had a nice evening last night, so it was all in fun, and it was a good group yesterday. I just wanted to throw it out there while you hopped on and just say I wanted to see what your reaction was to someone doing that. So, yeah, love-hate relationship, definitely. So I know you two got a game tonight. So what do you want? What would you like to say in closing?
Go ahead, Creep.
I actually don't have a game tonight. I'm painting tonight. We're
Oh,
on
you do a
little-
painting stream. Okay.
Yeah, we're on a little hiatus until July starts and Divine Violence kicks back up and Bones brings us back into her world for a month.
Okay.
But yeah, no. We got some painting going on today, so you guys want to come hang out after stream here. I'm not sure what I'm going to be wearing. I haven't really decided what I wanted to work on yet. It's Sunday and I don't ever paint Sundays. All my other days have themes and things. So we're just going to be playing around tonight, but Tuesday night we have a new game starting up that's Kurt's running Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, and Delta Green. So I'm pretty excited about that one. We have that little mini series going on for a little while, but yeah, you can find me everywhere as Darling Creepshow. And thanks for having me on. It was great getting to talk to you, Ron and Phil. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Anna,
nice to meet
as
you.
always, you are amazing and a light in this world.
Thank you. Same.
Saint Anna.
And Bones, as you wanna here?
Yeah,
I'm gonna bring something up while we're doing that.
if you love some video gaming, specifically of the indie variety, come check me out this coming week. I do have a cosplay stream coming on Saturday where I'll be dressing up. It'll be a lot of fun. Check it out. However, for the remainder of this month up until July 6th, I have a whole lot of game to write for the rest of season 3 of Divine Violence over on Creep's channel. So that's what I will be doing for the foreseeable future, is writing 4 episodes of a very tragic, very intense, very roleplay heavy game, a narrative experience, if you will, where I'm trying to make all my friends cry.
And if you want to see Bones Darling playing in my games at Page and to join them, let's go. Greed is Good, Friday at 9 a.m. Let me see the description. Where are the descriptions? Here we go. Join the Slav Squad with Eric Mona, Darling Creepshow, and Little Bones for another dangerous mission of this legendary adventuring group. That's number 1. Okay, and that is at that's Friday at 9, and then Saturday at 9. Love is in the air. Now this one's up in the air. If Eric Menke doesn't come, then I got to change it, right? So and Love in the air. This one is everyone for 2 drink minimum is there, but Ed. It's really weird. It's really going to be
sad.
weird. Yeah, we got Tony Winslow Brill, Jeremy's on Astrolier, Darling, Eric Menke, and Eric Boyd's even going to be here, right? For and so yes, I was thinking, will love triumph over honor and duty? Well, if Eric's not there, I don't know what we're going to do then. So we'll change. I'll change that up if we have to. But yeah, so but that's Saturday's game, and we'll have signups for open signups for both those. So. Looking forward to it, along with all the other stuff, and we'll talk a little bit about. We'll get a little more of the weeds in the next hour. But I really appreciate you both hopping on. And we will see Darling at minimum next on July 5th.
Yep.
July 5th is. Let me throw that up here. I'm sorry.
Me and Ed are gonna come crash your party.
Yes. So what I'm doing is I got goaded into it because I'm stupid. My wife's like, "What the frick are you doing?" And that is my second 24-hour stream.
You nightmare.
But it's one game. It starts at 10 a.m. I'm running Balchan's Beacon. And I got Coco, Tim, Korg, Curtis, and Brett. Curtis playing Fritz, of course. Starting at Saturday morning at 10 a.m. And every 6 hours or so, I'm bringing in 2 new guest players and rolling out 2 others. So right now I got Marquee Gaming coming in very first thing in the morning. And I got Darling coming in as Rosie and Ed coming in as Ravalantar at 6 p.m. Saturday night. And then I'm going to try fill with probably one more slot and then have someone on an emergency late night. Because I don't know how long the game's going to go. You know, I just don't know. But I'm going to run for
I'm pretty sure you said 24 hours.
Well, yeah, but it may take 18, it may take 20. But yeah, so.
That doesn't sound like 24 hours, Jay.
It sounds very much like, an all-you-can-eat buffet until it's gone.
Yeah.
Right. Well, this one is. The other one was 3 different adventures over 24 hours, and that was a nightmare coordinating this. This will be a little bit easier, one game, and also it's been submitted for the Twitch front page, so I'll know within a week, I think, if it's going to be on the front page. My 24-hour one was there last year, so that'll be a blast. Just wanted to share where some things are coming up with Darling Bones and everyone else in it. So thanks a lot. So I'm trying to get Chuck.
Ron.
Of course, yeah. Great seeing
I
you
was
both.
just going to ask, when's the next time Chuck's going to be on the program?
Yeah.
Do you all want me to call him on stream?
Absolutely not.
No.
Do it right. Do it. Do it. Do
Poor
it.
Chuck.
I
Oh,
think
hold
that
on.
is our note.
Here it is.
That is my note.
Here it is. The phone is coming out.
Oh,
I got him.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Calling
buddy.
Chuck Cumbo. Yeah, I see it on.
You're driving?
Yeah.
Yeah. How far? What's your ETA?
I'll probably be home in about 30 minutes or something, 25.
All right. Okay.
It's a baby. It's my father's.
You're live right now, so you don't need to tell us why. It's all good.
Is Ron still on there?
Yeah.
Is Ron looking for his events? Is he still on there?
All right, Chuck. We're just busting. We're having fun. All right. I'll see you in a bit. All right. Bye.
Oh, Chuck.
Poor Chuck.
Poor
He's
Chuck.
doing his best.
He's
Poor
doing
Chuck.
so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's gonna get into an accident. You know that, right? The last
Yeah,
25 minutes of his drive, he's
No,
Yeah.
no. What he's gonna do is he's gonna get out of the car and he's gonna twist his ankle going up the step to his house.
or
I
that-
can't
or
get
that.
on. Yeah. So but I know it's poor Chuck. But Chuck can take it. Just like a lot of us take abuse. I mean, come on.
Not me.
I take abuse from you.
Yeah, I don't take abuse. So.
Yeah.
Some of us don't take shit here, Jay.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting
They just
soft in
feel
my
it.
old age. I'm just getting too soft. So, but we got a lot going on. We're going to talk a little bit more about some details of the con in the next hour. Chuck will be on hopefully within 20 to 30 minutes. We'll talk about what Shoulder Games is going to do. Yes. And I'll see you on the painting stream in about an hour.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your
Thank you
stream.
guys so much.
Great
Yeah.
seeing you both. Thank you both for coming on.
Yep.
Bye.
See ya. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Awesome. They're going to be great special guests. Thank you both.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Looking
Yeah.
forward to it.
Yeah. And plus, they're bringing a lot more community members into the, into Page. So,
And Phil and Ron, I just realized on Friday when I'm running normally I sit and map and on stream, you running a stream every Friday on your Twitch channel. And I need to catch up. Do you put them on YouTube?
they're live streamed on YouTube.
They're live streamed on YouTube. We haven't connected them to our
Okay, yeah,
Twitch channel yet.
Okay,
so.
they're good. Then I can go back and watch them afterwards because I realized I missed them because I'm streaming on Friday normally. So yeah, because you've put all the guests and stuff. So that's awesome. So I need to.
Yeah. If you go back to the beginning, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
So you had Troy
12,
from Cannibal
13.
Publishing on a
Yes.
couple of weeks
Yeah,
ago.
Troy was on, and that was a really good episode. I think that was, let's see, was that 6/6? I think that was June 6th.
So that was only a couple weekends ago.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Cool.
Yeah, that was really
Yeah.
good. Troy is man, he's got a lot of irons in the fire right now.
Yeah, he's
Absolutely.
Cannibal went from nothing to really become a powerhouse in a couple of years here. So yeah.
And he's and we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about some of the things Troy's been doing for Page.
Please.
We have a Page exclusive adventure coming out, and we leaned on Troy a little bit. He offered, so we took him up on it, and he did some beautiful map work for the adventure, and he's just done a lot. He's been there, whatever he can help with, he's offering to help, and what a great guy.
What system's the game in? Shadow Dark?
It's like an OS.
OSC?
OSC sort of thing.
Nice. Yeah. He had done, but now he also started to do a bunch of Shadow Dark stuff lately.
Yeah, a bunch.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what he's running at Page. He's running Shadow Dark, and boy, do we have a lot of Shadow Dark at Page. We have over 160 hours of Shadow Dark events at Page. Yeah,
it's a popular system. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for cons. It's perfect.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Easy to learn and jump right in. So really
cool. It seems like going forward, any con that you go to not only will have a lot of Shadow Dark, but because of how the system works, to your point, it's so conducive to being run at cons. You're just going to see it from now until the sun goes down, the cows come home, whatever. Shadow Dark at cons, just because it slots in so beautifully in a con setting.
And
because sorry.
Just dovetailing on that, one of our largest events at Page is we have a Shadow Dark event called Down the Dark Stairway, and it's a convention long event, which Kelsey's involved in.
Cool.
And as well as Dwarven Forge is supplying the terrain for it.
Very cool.
And it's come for an hour and play, or play all weekend if you want, jump in and out. If your character can get to the entrance, if you have got something else to do before you have to leave and get back out, well, you get parked at the inn until you return. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very visual, and it's going to go on all weekend long. And there's going to be a ton of guest game masters stepping in to run sections of that. And we're not announcing who is going to run and when, because it's such a large event. We don't want people, crushing the event, during the time that Kelsey's going to be running. But folks like Baron Durop, Professor DM,
I think Mike Shea is going to run.
Mike Shea as well. Zeb Cook is going to run Shadow Dark.
I would
for
not
a
want to be
couple
in
of
a Zeb
hours.
Cook game running Shadow Dark. He's gonna slaughter everyone.
Yeah.
No. Oh man.
So
Holy.
we're really looking forward to that, and we're bringing together two powerhouses in the industry with Dwarven Forge and Arcane Library, and we're really excited about it.
Yeah. Good old Stefan with, I have 12 carry-ons under the or 12 into the plane because he's shipping everything all over the place, and he's like, when he goes to his cons, he goes all out. He goes all out with terrain.
Well, the good thing is that his team can drive his stuff
from New York
to this one. Yeah,
from New York.
Yeah, that's good.
Or just leave it with, or just we'll take it from PAX and store it like we do for so many companies that don't want to drag their product back before Page. We'll put it in the storage in our Page warehouse, and we'll drop it in their vendor space when they show up in January, and it's worked out very well.
Like, we won't go into bad things like the Troll Lord palette that went missing this last year.
Had the Troll Lords done that and stored it with us, it would have been there.
Yeah.
Instead, it was being held hostage by the shipping company for
that was
undisclosed reasons.
Yeah, the poor trolls were sitting in an empty booth, and they were running around talking to wherever the logistics company, and oh god, that was a nightmare. Yeah, for them.
I've been on the phone with the shipping company at least 4 times. I don't know where it is.
Yeah. And they didn't know where it was either, and they demanded money, and they couldn't. It was an ongoing disaster for like 12 hours or something.
Steve was madder than a grasshopper on hot asphalt.
Yeah. But they got their stuff, so to speak.
And they sold a lot of it.
And they sold it out basically.
Yeah. And if they had to go and get it from somewhere, I think, or whatever, it was an ongoing story. We heard every half hour they updated the whatever. So and then they got it. So
that was a good point, how they sold through their stuff so quickly. Mm-hmm. At Page, some of the vendors were just getting mauled, and Mike Saxton was out of product on Saturday morning. Certain sections of his product, he had very little left at the end of the show. Heidi Gygax and Eric were basically working on mailing lists because everything was sold by Saturday morning. So, I mean, if you want something in that vendor's room, get there early because it gets savaged every year.
And you had the flea market.
Yeah, that will be back this year.
So,
I mean, it's pretty epic.
Well, I want to share some things to some of you living Greyhawkers out there. I got these for $5 each. These came from Andy, who's from South Jersey. I forget Andy's last name. He's an ex-military guy. I worked with him in an electronics boutique like 35 years ago. I'll show you a picture. I got these for $5 each. I mean, these are ultra rare living. Yeah, he didn't care. I was like, Andy, you sure you want some? Andy Campbell, thank you. Yeah, Andy Campbell. And we played in the Joe Block game. And so it was cool. I mean, it was cool to get some really great buys there of items that are like, wow. And he's like, I want it gone. I'm like, are you sure? Yep. So flea market and the charity arcade are fantastic events not to miss. Absolutely. So great point, Troy. Absolutely, 100%. Great point. So, hopefully, we're still moving forward with the Greyhawk community is going to have its own little mini section, whether it's wall off.
Correct.
Right. 5 tables.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you're not running Greyhawk. I don't care if you're not running D&D. We want the personalities in there. So we're looking at the following people: myself, Anna, Tony Winslow Brill, Jeremy Estrelaer, Eric Boyd, Eric Mona, Carlos Lacing. All you're going to know where to be able to find them. That's what I want. Tim, the ever mysterious Tim. I'm missing a couple people. Kurt, Bones, Darling. There's got to be more I'm missing. Anna, who else am I missing? Am I missing someone else?
Well, some of them, yeah.
Rob, if Rob Phantom, I know Rob, you're saying you're not DMing, but you may DM Phantom NJ.
Oh, yeah, we should.
Yeah,
we should have
Michael, if
some
you're
stuff.
DMing, absolutely, Michael. Yeah, absolutely, everyone. We want them all in the same room. We want them all in the same area, just on the tables, just so we know where to find us. That's what I want. Just where are we? Find us all here. And that makes it easy. So yeah, instead of being spread out along 80,000 square feet. So, and I appreciate you guys doing that for us.
There are several companies are going to have their own areas.
Cool.
And several groups are going to have their own areas. Like Order the Owl will have their own
beautiful
area. Troller Games.
Yep.
Is going to have their own area. There's somebody else who has their own area as well. Stephen McCorney has his own area for when he's running his games.
Troy.
Troy Allman from Cannibal Publishing. Yep. So WizKids is going to have a section that is dedicated to their events. And I mean, hell, it sounds like we need to have a Shadow Dark room for all the Shadow Dark events that we're going to have at the convention as well.
But aren't you having a central hub too, where you're going to have some highlighted names playing right in that?
Yeah. What we're doing is basically imagine a large room and it's divided into four quarters, and there are like pathways that traverse the center of it, creating the four corners. But when you get to the center, it's an open area, and there are six featured tables there, and some of the pathways have featured tables in them because we're making the pathways like 30 feet wide.
Okay.
So you'll be walking past high profile games like the Shadow Dark Mega event, for example. All of those tables are in one of the pathways. We still have to play with the layout. Obviously, it's new facility for us, but I have a vision for it. Whether the vision is blurry or not, and I just don't realize it yet. We'll see.
I'll tell you.
Okay. I was going to say that tied to something important. I think for when you visit a convention that Ron tied to is that you should go up and take a look at games. It's not impolite. Don't try to disturb the game, but you're there to learn and to teach and stuff like that. So that's the thing. You can actually see how games are run. So if you're curious about a game, you can actually stand there and listen. Try not to disturb it, but to be listening, cheering in, and stuff like that. That, at least in my games, that is appreciated. And I think most DMs and games, they want that interaction because they want more gamers. They want everybody at the convention to have fun. And it's a way to get a first introduction to a game. You like curious. I've heard about this game, never seen it played or whatever. Stand there for a little bit and make sure you and even ask a question if there's like a break or something like that. You can kind of take a chance and you can see things in action, so to speak, which is usually it's a good chance. But be polite about it, definitely. But if you are, then I think most game groups will appreciate someone coming in are interested in what they're doing, so to speak.
So this is a minor complaint about Gary Kahn. Minor, because I'm lucky. I get my games in the chop house behind the glass, right? Not everyone gets that, right? I have no idea where anyone else is. So if I'm like, where's Rob DMing? Where's Carlos?
Yeah.
I have no freaking idea, right?
Yeah.
So now
that's the plus that
right. We'll know where everyone is. Oh my God, I want to sit and watch Carlos DM for about a half hour, or because he's a legend.
That's the
I'll
plus,
know exactly where he is.
Plus and minus.
Yeah.
Because most conventions are in the more conventional convention centers, so to speak, to make it really complicated. But like Page, that you have big rooms, so to speak, where you can see things, you can walk around and you can see little signs. But the venue of the late Great Grand Geneva is more like a dungeon, little rooms
Right.
spread out all over the place. So you have to go and find it here and there, and
Yeah.
that is great for another way. But there are plus and minuses. The plus for GaryCon is that it's cozy, it's quiet, and you get your own little corner in the dungeon complex, so to speak, which is a plus. Then the downside is that it's harder to find, and you have to go around looking in order to find things. You can't just stand up and take a peek at half the convention and see what you're interested in. You have to figure out, okay, the map, and then you have to walk and go in and find this room where it is, so to speak. So it's
Now,
plus and minuses.
Garner, you're right. It's not super quiet. And that's why I don't stream my games anymore, because I want to concentrate on DMing. So I'll stream the talk shows and the seminars, which is easy. You're dead on right. But just like, and this is a thing we can never have there, because first off, we're not taking over Evergreen 3 just for all Grail content, because it's different, right?
You never
But
know.
this,
We might get a
well,
Grail community big enough for a
yeah,
room
and I'm
at
going to go to
GaryCon
Josh and
too.
say, Josh, he's like, you demand enough shit
Yeah,
from me
we'll see.
already. Screw you. You know what he's going to say.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
He's going to say that back. So, but this, the way this is set up, this is perfect. We're going to know where everyone is, and the whole community is going to be there, and people, and another thing, say, I'll just use an example. Say I'm short a player. Someone for the community maybe, oh, this is where we are. Boom, right there. Everyone will know where we are. That's it. It'll be easier to get fillers and emergencies and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, definitely.
I think
make demands of Josh Garner. Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah. I think GaryCon is so unique.
Yep.
When you compare it to other cons, like I would rather put Page, if we're gonna compare it in a very friendly way to other cons.
North Texas.
North Texas or Gamehole.
Gamehole. Okay.
Yeah.
Gamehole is a really good, I think, example to compare what we're doing with what Alex is doing in Gamehole. And Ron and I were there last year. That was Ron's first
Gamehole is fantastic too.
It's fantastic. So and they've been doing it for 11 years now. So they've got their model down pat pretty well. Of course, we'll be there again because we've really worked closely with Alex. We'll be running his new 5e organized play campaign at Page after it debuts at Gamehole in October. Wardens of the Eastern Marches, right there. Yeah, I know my camera's not.
Yes, that has a cool map in there.
Yes. Oh, did you make that? Did you make it?
Yes, I made it.
The one on the back.
Yes, that big.
You
that
want
map. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is Anna map around the back. So, but right, I think Gamehole is more kind of a con that we're comparing ourselves to a little bit as to what they're doing out there. But and Alex was at Page too, and he was there, and he's given us some really good constructive criticism. I think, I personally think Alex as a partner almost, and because he just wants us to succeed.
Good.
Gamehole Con is another great con, but I mean, again, like my original point is, whether it's GaryCon or Gamehole or Page or North Texas or something like that, there's always going to be gives and takes, pluses and minuses for every convention. Some things that you love, some things you don't love so much. I love GaryCon, but it's very compartmentalized. It's extremely compartmentalized.
And also meaning the United States and North America, that is the market coming, is so big, and since you're in different parts of the country, that also means that there are definitely room for conventions, mid-sized or even large conventions in multiple locations around, because most of these conventions, you have to say, are sold out, which means that there is a demand for more conventions, not less.
But the good thing, Anna, is we don't have to go to PAX Unplugged anymore.
No,
Right.
and yeah,
Oh my
and
gosh.
that's another one which I think I've been to. I was to PAX Unplugged twice, and I had good experiences both times. But they were more PAX Unplugged was more like a smaller Gen Con with
Oh yeah.
everything,
Right.
so to speak.
Yeah.
Not a role playing game convention. It was board games.
But
It
open
was
play's the worst.
everything.
The
No.
way
Exactly.
they
It was
do,
like wow. It
the way
was
they
it was
do
huge, so to
tables
speak.
and
So
stuff.
yeah,
I go to PAX
yeah.
every year, but I would never go to PAX Unplugged with the anticipation of getting a really good quality gaming experience out of the convention.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
What
would
I
be
love,
going.
oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, I was just gonna say the vendor hall is amazing. It's like
Yep.
it's like a Gen Con light to a large degree. I
Yep.
go there to meet with friends, to do schmoozing, to have meetings, to firm up relationships, to reconnect with folks. It's December typically. It's Christmas time in Philadelphia. You got the Christmas market right, a block away. It's very festive. You walk into the JW Marriott and there's a massive Christmas tree there, and everyone is just sort of in the spirit. I go if it wasn't local, if I couldn't drive there within an hour of my house, I probably wouldn't go.
Listen, I think in fairness, it's not apples to apples.
No,
Not at
not
all.
at all.
Exactly.
That
Not
Yeah.
at all.
that is a
Not at all.
different um they have a different sort of organization when it comes to gaming conventions. It's the idea is we're going to load up on tons of vendors. We're going to have tons of open play, and the gaming experience I think is third or fourth on their priority list.
Yeah.
So that's one and two. I mean, I don't know. When you have to have a group of volunteers called enforcers, it just doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That doesn't seem very welcoming to me.
But but also what I like about both like Page, Gary Con, and Game Hall and other conventions is that they are more focused on one part of a much broader spectrum, so to
Yeah.
speak, meaning role-playing games.
Correct.
And then there's some board games and some miniatures and very adjacent hobbies in one, meaning Gen Con and PAX Unplugged, they cater to much broader audience, so to speak, which
Right.
means that they are not as deep to each of them. But that is also cool because if you're interested in general things that are leaning towards and you want to see sister and cousin hobbies, so to speak, and businesses, then a convention like Gen Con and Page Unplugged can be good. But if you're a role player first and foremost and want to game and see what's in our part of the spectrum, so to speak, in when it comes to gaming experience, then a more dedicated role-playing game convention could probably give you more value for money in that sense, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, our vision is simple. It's not about uh, selling more badges, and expanding the size of the gaming pie in order to sell more badges. I mean, sure, could we
Well,
throw
problem
out
is that you run a good convention, you might have to. That's the problem.
No, I'll give you an example.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
you're never going to see like a Magic the Gathering or a
Oh,
Pokemon
that's okay.
tournament and things like
Yeah.
that. And sure, I mean, you know the secret for pushing that. You throw big money tournaments in, right?
Yeah.
And you end up selling, badges as a result. Zero interest in that. The focus is always going to be on role playing games first, second, and third.
Awesome.
And
Yeah.
we have a board game library which we're constantly building, but it's not an area of focus for the convention. Just like we have a miniature section this year where we have 20 tables, but it's not a major focus for the convention. It's role playing games first and foremost, and whether they're and earlier you brought up North Texas, Jay. The reason I shook my head no is because we're not a retro RPG
Right.
convention.
Hey, I've
We're
never been to it, so I don't know. I
Yeah,
was just
we're an
shooting it.
RPG convention.
Right. Right.
So at
Mhm.
Page, there's more fifth edition D&D events have run than any other system over the first 2 years, and I think fifth edition D&D is leading this year, even ahead of Shadow Dark. We don't turn away new systems. We don't turn away old systems. It's an RPG convention, and part of the goal from day one, we were all there. We saw what happened with the communities during COVID. There was a lot of infighting. Guys like me and Jay, and not so much Phil because he's not portly like Jay and I are. but we're gatekeepers, right? We're gatekeepers. We were keeping people out, and then you had the new players. You had some of the old school folks beating them down because they had nothing else to do except for sit in front of a computer and rage type. And that to me was so damaging to the community. And I carry a philosophy. Hey, we're all gamers. Let's focus on where we're all in alignment, and that's having fun at the game table.
Absolutely.
And let's focus on that and worry about all the other stuff afterwards. But our goal is always to be RPG first, foremost, second, third, 27th.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah.
Whatever you play it. Edition
that's-
style doesn't matter.
That's no disparagement on what Mike and Gary are doing.
Not at all
in Texas at all. We are on very good terms with them. We tend to run into them at Game Hole because all that crew is there, and it's light ribbing and stories over beers kind of a thing. But that's their focus, and it looks like their last was it last week the con was. It looked like it was very successful again. And so, we wish them continued success going forward with their model.
Yeah, they have a defined area of focus. They really do.
Yeah.
And they stick to it. And often we get kind of pigeonholed into that because of, me running the RPG collectors barter group and me running in that collector circle and the old school circle as a result of collecting and things like that. But the old school stuff at Page is a byproduct of those relationships, but it's not the sole area of focus. And as Phil said, we think North Texas is great. It's just they have an area of focus and they like what they're doing and they stick to it, and that's why they have so many fans, and that's great. But we're definitely closer to Game Hole Con in the way we're doing things and our event offerings.
Nice. And there's it's working, obviously, and that's a great thing. So
yep.
Hoping for Chuck to get on here. He's gonna chicken out.
I don't know. Let me call him.
You're gonna call that too? Oh my God! Don't have him crash. Yeah,
it's his job. He needs to be reminded
Oh my
of
God!
It. Yep.
That's funny. So while he's calling here, let's go and take a look at. So if you want to see right on the front page of Tabletop Events, you have a gaming guest testimonials you can watch right off YouTube, right here. So for all those that you got a nice group of people here. Harold Johnson's one of them. Mike Shea, Jeff D, Zeb, Professional Dungeon Master Kelsey. Yeah, you got a really nice group there. You got a lot. Wow, that is fantastic. I did not know about WizKids. I knew Dwarven Forge, but I did not know about WizKids. That's really because I'm not a fan of plastic minis, but they got some good paintable minis. You're right. They got some. They really expanded. What is that? He just.
What's the matter?
He's busting. He just said 1 hour, and then he's kidding because he's right here right now.
Ooh.
That's funny.
There you
All right, Chuck. Look, he's even got a collared shirt on. Oh my God!
Yeah.
You feeling okay?
See, I'm
Family
the
doing
mouth
the
of
thing, man.
siege.
Calm down.
Yeah.
I seen that
Good-
because Anna, you
good.
are rocking.
It's good to
Oh
see you,
yeah,
Chuck.
she got her castles.
So
and
good to see you,
crucifix
Chuck.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's good to see you too. No, sorry, I just.
Hey, it's
Busy day,
Father's
man.
Day, dude. Don't worry about it. Thank you.
Well, before the grandbaby, it wasn't that big of a deal. Now it is, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. You came on. You
Yep.
missed Darling and Bones, but no big deal. So
I watched him a little bit because I was playing with her and watching on the phone a little bit while I could.
awesome.
Yeah.
So, what's troll?
Let's get to the burning question. Where are your events?
Oh my God, he's gonna start.
We sent him to Phil like 4 weeks ago. I don't know what the hell is going on. You need to get on to those people, Ron. I don't know what to tell you. Oh wait, Phil's there. Hey, Phil.
Listen,
Hey,
don't-
Chuck, how are you?
Don't let me put Ed Stark on the case.
No, I do not want anything to do with that man. He terrifies me. No. No, we'll be. I think I'll send you a message today. We're going to be working on more this week, but so many conventions, man. I swear to God, it's.
I don't care. I don't care about any of the other ones.
I know.
They care
I wish I
about
only
me.
had. What's it like to only have one con to worry about? What is it like, Ron? Tell me.
Hey, listen, I have other cons to worry about. I run events at EcclesiaCon. I was up in Central
I
New
know. I
York
saw
this
your name
weekend.
floating around. In fact, I'm playing in one of your games in July, actually.
Oh,
at EggCon.
At
Yeah.
EggCon. Oh,
Yeah.
very good.
I shouldn't have said nothing. I could have just showed up and surprised you, but you probably would have known
Well,
longer
hardly.
anyway.
So I'm talking to Chuck this morning. I'm like, well, because I know they're at Gen Con. I'm like, so when are you leaving for Gen Con? What'd you say to me?
I said, I'm not going there. We got too much work to do.
He's like, screw that. I ain't
going.
I heard Steve was putting a tool belt on him. And he was going to be out there starting to fabricate that Butler building they're building down there on their 5 acres of land. That job's going union, right? I just want to make sure.
Everything's union in Arkansas.
Sure it is. I have no idea, man.
Don't make me bring the inflatable rat down there.
The inflatable rat.
Oh, it's all over South Jersey. Well, it used to be. I haven't seen it in a while, but yeah.
What is it?
It's an inflatable rat.
Yeah.
So
Well,
if it's not,
Ron, explain the significance of the inflatable rat.
yeah,
The rat has a name. His name is Scabby. And
Oh my God.
you put him out in front of job sites and you put a sash on it. And the
Okay.
sash in this case would say Troll Lord Games. And then there would be a banner out there that would say, shame on Troll Lord Games. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, I see what we're going at here. I got you now. I'm with you. on
Yes,
this. I see.
yes.
Interesting. That's
There'll be
wild.
a union protest out front.
you don't need to worry about it.
Yeah.
Well,
We're not going down there. There's no sidewalks down there. We have nowhere to
There is
protest.
none. That place is rural as it gets. Where he's got that where the factory's getting put in at.
Yep.
Tiny.
Yeah,
little place.
I saw his picture
Thanks,
standing in
Dale.
the middle of the hayfield or whatever it was that he bought.
Well, I'm setting up a camera. We're going to do a live feed so people can watch it being built and whatever. Blah blah blah. And the only way I can do it is to have a special, cellular camera because there's no way to get Wi-Fi or there's no electricity there. There's nothing. So yeah.
I've got a suggestion for you. You can use, you either rent or buy those the trailer cameras that you see on highway jobs that have the telescopic pole. But the downside to you live streaming is if anybody isn't happy, they'll just be screenshotting OSHA violations all day and sending them to
Right.
OSHA. I
Fantastic.
know a guy who's got multiple trailer cameras at his disposal who may or may not do that in the tri-state area.
That's funny. So Troll Lord is here. So
Yeah.
what fun things do we have planned at Page?
Fun things. Well, let's see. Let me check my submission.
Besides me taking you out to dinner like last year.
You're going to check your submissions? Why don't you check the logistics on where the product is for the vendor's room?
Yeah.
Make sure it gets
Yeah,
there.
we talked
we
about
already talked about that from
Oh,
last
the
year.
God.
mishaps last year.
Well,
Poor Chuck.
It
was.
you know what the
yeah.
problem was? Is because it wasn't union. I could have called you in on the topic.
Yeah.
Long arm,
There
you know?
you go.
Now, I have, by the way, I got to share this because it just makes us Philly people feel so warm and fuzzy inside. And that was Chuck. I took Chuck and Ann out to dinner the night before with my wife, right?
That was great.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had a nice time. We went out to Botto's, right in Swedesboro. If you guys know
Sure,
where-
sure.
right?
The sausage place. Yep.
Yeah, but
Right.
they got all sorts of great Italian dishes
Yeah.
and things like that there. And let me find. So Chuck takes a nice picture of us. And what is hanging in the background of this picture, Chuck?
Well, I wanted something to embarrass him, and it worked pretty well so far.
Yeah. I don't know how if that is embarrassing to me, but there you go. We'll flip this over and show it to you here. So we're at Botto's there. There you go. Look at
Joe. I
that.
see
Look
Joe.
at that. Oh, a
There you
nice,
go.
yes, a nice Eagles.
Yeah, it's a nice picture.
Yeah, but that's before the Super Bowl. So there you go, Chuck.
Yeah.
And Chuck's a Cowboy fan, everyone. So,
We
Yeah.
prefer to call them the Super Bowl champion
exactly.
Eagles.
Yeah, exactly. So
Well,
it was a
Great.
nice time, and I'm planning on having people here the night before again. Whoever can make it on Wednesday, like we did last year, to
sounds
my
like a good
house. So we
idea.
stream
Yeah.
here from here like we did last year.
yeah, it worked out pretty good. I
So
thought.
so we'll do that. Yeah, that was a nice time.
Yeah, it's good.
yeah,
It's really good. The food was great. That place is a great place to eat.
Yeah, it was a good place. A nice
Got my
place.
stamp of approval. Yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
Any place that's got good sausage, man. It's a place to eat. Good.
Yeah, definitely.
I love
So
Italian food so much.
that was a fun time there. So, yeah, man.
Almost
So,
we all do that.
yeah. So all right. Well, so is Steve? Who's coming from Troll Lord this year?
Oh, that's a good question. So right now, as it stands, for sure, it's going to be me and Steve. Dakota's bringing the booth.
I think you're gonna say booze for a
Um,
second. I was like, what?
No.
He might
no.
bring
He
that
might
too.
be. He might be bringing that. Maybe. Let's see. I'm trying to think who else is going to be there. I
Jason
don't
should
think
be there.
Davis. I don't think Davis is going to be there.
Jason
Jason's
Vey?
coming. Mm-hmm.
Jason Bay
I think
is
Jason Bay will be there.
Yeah, and let's see.
Heather
I'm not
or
sure
no?
who else. Heather's going to be there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we may have one more booth crew person coming. I'm not sure who it is yet, though. 100%.
Okay.
Maybe Grace.
Maybe Grace. Maybe Coco Bunny. I'm not 100% sure yet.
Trying to get Coco and Star to come, but I don't know if Coco can
Yeah.
get the time off.
Yeah,
So-
that's the issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Something like that. And then the plans we have up there, of course, we're in events, but we're going to have a tournament. We're working on that right now. I mean, George talked about that Thursday for just
Cool.
a little bit. Yeah, tournament. I want to run a couple special guest games for the tournament for Paige. See what we can do about maybe helping them do some good stuff, raise some money, whatever they need. You know,
We need to do a seminar too.
a seminar for us, and then I want to do a couple more seminars I got planned. I got to talk to Ron about those this week too. Make sure he's okay with nudity. And then let's see, what was
And that one just snuck right by. No one heard that.
Only if it's done tastefully, Chuck.
Yes.
Right, of course, absolutely. It's silly.
Artistically.
You got to. You got to.
Good,
Yeah.
We're good with
Like a
tasteful and artistic nudes. Yes.
Like a Boris Villarreal
Hold on,
artwork.
my wife's expression when we
Bless
said
her
that.
heart. She's an angel, man. She puts up with a lot of shit. You know that?
Did
She
you just
really
call
does.
Jennifer
Awesome.
an angel?
Oh,
I
she's
did.
awesome. I met her. I can
She's awesome.
vouch for
How
that, Chuck.
little he knows me.
I like her because she's really the one that runs the con. Really, she is the.
Yep.
She is the
She's
motor.
the one
She's
that
the
runs
engine.
runs the convention, is she?
She's like the engine that runs all that. You know, all the parts and stuff, right?
Oh, you know what?
This is your chance, Ron, to shine right now. Think this through before you reply.
she runs roughshod over me all day.
Rough shot.
You know, just so all of America and the worldwide audience is watching this, she once struck me with a closed fist.
Really?
So
Oh, yes,
suddenly
she
Ron's
did.
feed just disappears. He's gone.
Right there, with that fist, right there.
Wow,
That was the one.
There was real footage, right? Live.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. You know.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, it's not as bad as you know. I don't have it as bad as Zach from Frog God has it. I mean, shit,
Oh,
his Jennifer
tough.
stabbed him.
Poor old. I
With
know.
With
Stabbed
what?
him.
What'd she
Poor
stab him
Zach.
with? I love
A
Jennifer.
knife.
A knife.
A knife.
When?
Knife.
When did that happen?
It was right around Thanksgiving, and
Yeah.
he snuck up on her in the kitchen
Oh,
while she was cutting something, and she turned around and stabbed him with the
Really?
knife.
Look, she was the
Total true story. That is
sweetest
a true
person.
story.
Wow, I
Crazy.
believe it. I believe it.
Oh, she's
But she's the
awesome.
sweetest
Yeah.
person at GaryCon this year.
She's the sweetest person all the time. We love Jen. She's
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh yeah,
We're,
Jen
we're
is
putting
fantastic.
we're
Yep.
putting her to work this year.
Oh,
So
that doesn't
Oh,
sound.
okay.
That sounds
Well, I was
foreboding.
wondering because you kept saying she was just laying around last year, not doing anything.
yeah, well, you know.
Where's Jen? I don't know. Taking a
She was
break
like,
again.
yeah, she was like, yeah, I'm talking about Jen Glazer. Jen Glazer was like,
Yeah.
Oh,
we're putting her to work. We're putting her to work. So
That's
Well,
funny,
there's a
Lemus.
scary looking picture.
This is Thursday night, and because I'm gonna tell a secret here. All the numbers were not on the table when I went into the room, and I said, "What number is my event? I want to be on this table." So I took the number from in that cubby and I put it on this table, and I said, "Chuck," and when we're sitting around, this is in that corner. Before but while we were all setting up, I'm like, just we guys sit here, and I'm gonna set my train up afterwards because I don't. Yeah, so that's how that happened. So yeah, we had Jason, and there's Heather and Chuck, and Chuck. See, that's normal Chuck attire, right there, that outfit there. So yeah, but that's okay. That's okay.
I like
I like you with this collared shirt, man. Look, collared shirts are the way to go. So
Yeah.
but there you go. That was the VIP night, Thursday. So. I do not know
That's
who
a
took
good
that
dinner. I'm
picture.
looking forward to it again. That's
I think
probably-
Tabletop Misfits, were they there? I think he took it.
They were there.
Yeah, I think he took it. And
They
gave
were
it.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
there.
Are they coming this year?
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Probably. Yeah.
the answer is yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah. So that was one of the troll alert
That's
pictures.
that's James Jackson, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, they're coming. We haven't announced them yet, but they're coming.
Well, now we have.
Good job, Ed. Good job, Ed. That's what Ed always does on our live streams. Ed
What's that?
always,
No, he says good job.
he
Ed.
he reveals guests before they've been
Oh,
announced.
okay.
Yeah,
That's
What's
yeah.
been
He's done it a
confirmed?
bunch of times. He's done it a bunch of times.
that's all good. I mean,
Keeps you on your toes, right?
yeah.
I'm like a real radio host on there. I have to be ready with the dump button when Ed starts to talk, like in case he gets off topic. I gotta dump the audio real quick.
Really? What? See. Okay. I mean,
I don't
There's
want to
not
give away
much.
secrets.
okay. All right. Secrets. There's not much. There's a lot that you can get you banned on Twitch, right? We all know what that is. That's you stay away from those things. But like saying the F word or those kind, no one cares about that stuff. But there's things. Yeah. Trying to go through some nice Chuck being a nice guy here. And if you saw these were Michael Zudrak's children. So he ran. I'm trying to find the game here, Chuck. I have it here somewhere. I got so many pictures. Here we go.
I'm trying to remember
There
what
you
I
go.
ran for him now.
There you go. You ran something for him.
You were running kids games. You were running.
Isn't that
Oh
the
yeah, that was wild,
intro-
man. I had a
intro
great
to
time
CNC?
doing that. Yeah, I read a bunch of them. One time I had 12 kids at the table. It was going insane.
Right.
I was like, whoa, the ship's off the rails a little
Yeah.
bit,
So that was nice of you to do that.
Good, though.
Yeah,
Really
definitely. So.
Other than those chairs are from.
Well, yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, I'm in an elevated chair
Those
now with
chairs
the
are
hips.
horrible. I'm
What
gonna go
about
get
the-
me a chair for myself
Yeah.
to carry around.
Yeah.
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 And new
They're all
chairs
right. Yeah,
next
we-
year, or
He
Listen,
can't do nothing about that. That's the
we-
facility,
we-
I'm sure.
It's not the facility. It's the convention services provider.
Yeah,
who-
whatever.
So I did say something because, let's face it, those chairs were,
Left a lot to be desired.
a little lackluster if you've been sitting on them for 6 hours straight. So
Well,
Substandard.
not so much of the comfort, but guys my size and Chuck's size, a few people hit the floor as a result.
Dude,
Yeah.
yeah, that is a concern, and there's people bigger than us, and I was like, I don't want to turn nothing up, but I sure as I don't want to end up on some TikTok video either. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
it's all good though. It worked.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not like
I'm
it's not like gaming in the chop house, Anna.
Oh my gosh.
No, those
Well,
those are
that
some
is-
nice
yeah.
chairs. Those are
Yeah,
really
that's
nice
like
chairs.
that's like
Yep.
extra special, So.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's
But
people.
I'm looking forward to it this year. I'm looking forward to all the changes and the growth. Ron showed me
Yeah.
a lot of what the changes are and everything. I'm very excited about it. It's going to be cool.
hmm
Especially wanting to see how it's going to work out with the seminars and all that. Because interestingly enough, the seminars were pretty popular last year.
Oh
even
yeah,
though
they were.
There were problems or whatever. I think that's a good area that will grow. I think.
Yeah, and about I don't know, an hour and 40 minutes ago when this program started and you were supposed to be here and you weren't, we talked about these seminars being in their own sequestered area, Chuck. So
Right.
it's going to be much quieter, and it's it's going to be better for the gamers, that they're not going to be trying to fight through people on microphones, and it's going to be better for the the seminars themselves, because they'll be more intimate and quieter and in their own areas. But you mentioned Heather. You mentioned Heather Ashcraft. Boy, is she turned in a bundle of good seminars this year and panels.
Yeah, she did real good. Real
Oh,
good. I
cool.
saw she showed me.
Yep.
They were really good.
Phil,
Yeah.
you want to pull those up real quick and kind of
Yeah.
run through some of what's been submitted. We're still in the process of approving, and we're combining a few panels. Like we got
That's
Forgotten
smart.
Realms panel. We got Forgotten Realms seminars from both Eric Boyd and Rich Baker. Like
Richard Baker, really?
Yeah, so we're like, okay, so we're putting them together because I mean, other than Ed, are there two bigger names in terms of Forgotten Realms content creation going back to the late '80s?
Eric Boyd is.
Yeah.
I mean, all the Deities books.
Oh yeah.
So
absolutely.
like, and Eric plays one of the coolest characters in that 2 Drink Minimum group. He plays a half ogre priest, especially priest of Heronius, who has a death wish.
That's right.
Telegord Stunknord. So we're
Praise Herodias!
You're going to see Telegord there at Page, which is awesome. Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. So that makes sense to combine that one. Why wouldn't Richard Baker do an Eberron panel?
Listen, Richard Baker, I mean, obviously he could do a whole load of different things, but he was on the Forgotten Realms design team at TSR and WotC for years. So Forgotten Realms is near and dear to my heart, so I couldn't be more excited that they're both going to be there.
But just Eberron's his baby.
Yeah, I know, and
okay,
I know. So, what do you got, Phil?
Yeah. So Heather Ashcraft, she's submitted. Let's see. So, for instance, she has one entitled "Gaming is for Everyone: Inclusivity in RPGs."
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, that will be a panel talking about how we bring in more people into the hobby. Gaming is not just for stereotypical groups of people like one might think of when you think of tabletop gaming. So that's one. We haven't scheduled that yet, but that is on the docket. It takes a village. This is the next one. It takes a village combating toxicity in gaming spaces. So how do we alleviate discomfort? If we're trying to bring more people into the hobby, of course. Perhaps there's some legacy toxicity involved that we need to be able to be better at combating and navigating. So and these can be some weighty topics for some folks, depending on who the audience member is. Designing matriarchal societies in RPGs is another one she's submitted for us. I'm going to pull that one up.
That is a good one.
Yeah. She says here, this panel explores how game designers, world builders, storytellers can thoughtfully construct matriarchal cultures in tabletop and role-playing games. We'll discuss common pitfalls like reinforcing stereotypes, creating gender swap patriarchy, explore real-world inspirations and other tools for nuanced immersive worlds. So yeah, there's going to be some topics here that I would not characterize them as trying to think of like a word that they're not just hot button submissions to get people conversing because they feel like they are controversial. And so that old adage of all publicity is good publicity, not so much. And then lastly, if I'm looking here, we have one role for representation, women and femmes in RPG streaming. So, some really
A lot of good
interesting
ones.
topics. Yeah. So, yeah, Heather's really kind of done her homework here and has thrown us some really interesting things to consider as we're scheduling for these seminars.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's we've been talking a lot about that around the dens about trying to change up some of our seminars because you get kind of stuck in that rut of the same old thing, like game tips, how to write an adventure. I mean, that stuff's okay, but you can find that everywhere, right?
Right.
And we're just trying to come up with some unique stuff. We're actually playing around with doing some interactive seminars a little bit. We think that might be fun to do.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I went to a panel at GaryCon. It was actually a 2-hour panel, which sometimes 2-hour panels can get a little long in the tooth.
Sure.
Actually, it might have been a 90-minute panel, but it was the state of the OSR, right? And you're like, oh, okay, maybe this will be interesting, maybe it won't. And it was fascinating because they had to touch on so many different things. Luke Stratton, which will be at page 3, was the one who was moderating it. Kelsey was there. Yochai, who wrote Cairn, if you know Cairn.
Yep.
Matt Finch was there. It was a fantastic panel, and that panel, I know, not only did they record it, but then after GaryCon, those folks that hadn't been there, I was listening to many podcasts saying, "Hey, if you weren't at GaryCon, you have to watch this one panel. It is literally amazing." And it got all of these views simply because of the buzz of a couple of content creators that really thought that it was special. And so you always have that potential for a viral moment to occur with one of these panels, in where someone or a group of people will hit a particular topic or something that has been eating away at people's minds for a little bit, and they really want to kind of scratch that itch, if you will. And before you know it, you've got a panel that's been recorded, and people are sharing it on social media and saying, "Wow, like this is the type of panels that they do at Page. This is amazing. Like I'm gonna have to literally pen that in on my calendar for next year." So, but to continue that point, just real quick, when I was at GaryCon, it was the first time since we've run Page where I had people coming up to me who I didn't know that said, "Oh, you're Phil from Page," and I'm like, "How in the hell do you know that?" And that told me that in 3 years, we have accomplished more goals as a young convention that I don't think going into year 1, anyone could have thought that those goals were possible in just 3 short years. And again, the third convention hasn't even happened yet. So 2.5 years, really. We have been able to strike and hit while the iron is hot and give people what they are truly desiring in a convention. And I don't think it's a secret formula. It's just give people what they want, and that
Thanks,
is
Keith.
Quality games, quality panels, quality special guests. Do it in a venue that works. Respect the gamers, respect the gaming space, and people will come.
And one key factor is let people put their fingerprint on what you're doing. Like we're still at the ground floor stage, and Jay, you and I spoke about this specifically early on in the process. I said, I want you to feel comfortable enough to, say, hey, this is what I'd like to do there, and not get a bunch of hassle. Like, hey, we're going to have a Greyhawk section now, right? That's specific to the Greyhawk community. It's because we're taking that input, and we're letting gamers, whether they're local, such as Jay is to us, or whether it's a Troll Lord Games who comes in and says, hey, we want a convention where we can plant our flag on the East Coast and it's like, well, let's talk about, well, can we have a Troll Lord game section in the gaming hall? The answer is yes. We still have that ability to be flexible at this point, because we're not so entrenched in what we did last year and that's what we do this year. Like, we're keeping our mind open to everything, and want the community to say, oh, I can have an impact here, like I can be a part of this. Like, they can look at a portion of the convention and go, oh, you know that was my suggestion, or hey, the nerdy knowledge trivia contest, that was my contribution to Page, and look how fun it is every year. Whatever it is,
Page is not one of the biggest conventions we go to, but it is probably one of the most accessible conventions to work with. There are lots bigger ones that there's not even anybody to talk to. It's gotten, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well.
Anyway, I just want to say thank you, because you guys are great, and it makes things a lot easier when you're a company, a publisher, because we go to a lot of different cons. We have a busy schedule, but I don't think you guys have ever told me no. It goes a long ways.
No. You know what? We don't generally, we're not no people, we're yes people. And we spoke about the special guests earlier in the program. That you missed that too, Chuck, because you were late. But we've got some names that people don't know, like out there, and because they've created something new, right? Or they have their own game system, like a Justin Sorois, for example. Or who's the I'm just drawing a blank. It's my bad memory. Phil, the Ragnaborg.
Oh, Erica
Lowe, right? So, you know what?
That's good.
These aren't the biggest names in the industry, but they're making an impact in the industry. And we want these folks, like, we want to try to recognize who these people are and bring them in as guests, because they're making a contribution to the industry. And the idea of whether or not that contribution is big enough or not, to warrant giving them the word special guest on their badge, it shouldn't matter. We should be able to help small creators promote themselves and build up their persona, and we're really happy to do that. I mean, take a look at Ronan Wong. He had never been a guest at a convention before Page One.
Yeah.
And now he's a guest everywhere. Because
it's true.
We put him out there, and he's a great guest, and it works great. I mean, I think I'm not 100% sure. I think Heather, one of her first guest gigs was at our convention as well, if I remember correctly. So, things like that. It doesn't cost you anything to help try to build something up, or be for a game system, or before a certain creator, and try to build them up in the eyes of the public and the community.
That's been supporting people like that's amazing, dude. Think about that. I mean, I'm not trying to throw shade on any other convention or any other festival out there, but that's normally not something people think about when they're setting up their convention or their festival. How can we help others?
Yeah.
It's more about trying to showcase and stuff, which is not a bad thing, but that just shows more about what you're talking about. You thinking about out of the box. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, let's celebrate the industry, whether it's a Zeb Cook or a Frank Mentzer, or whether it's an Erica Lowe or a James Panarella, who wrote the novel The Role Players, right? Like, Big Little, it's a big quilt, and we're making a fun quilted Page, and we bring these people together, and it's just going to get better this year, and it's going to be better for everybody who's involved.
Yeah. No, you guys are very amenable to suggestion, and we all appreciate that. Definitely, 100%
Absolutely.
listening. Doesn't hurt. it's just like real life. If if you can talk to people and have a great relationship and understand, sometimes you do have to say no. But if you do it in the right way, and it's okay. It's just communication's key, and that's a great
Right.
thing. So absolutely.
Yeah.
Were you gonna say something, Chuck? Or did I cut you off?
No, you're good.
All right. Get some controller game collared shirts, please. You look good. A collared shirt, man.
Appreciate that.
Chuck, I'm going to give you, as a portly man myself,
Mm.
I'm going to, vertical stripes. I live on the vertical stripes, my friend.
Vertical stripes.
I don't know.
No stripes.
I think he just came off. Looks like he came off the golf course. I think it's good.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's perfect.
It's like this all the time. at work.
Regular.
This is not new.
He even sounds like John Daly.
Thanks, Troy.
Oh man! All right, so
it'll be here before you know it. Next thing you know, we're all going to be going. Man, I wish page 4 would get here.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
let's get through the summer first. August 12th for me. Get me healed up. Enjoy the summer a little bit. Then we get to my son going back to high school. All that, yeah. And you guys are all going to other. This is the year I'm missing cons. I'm getting invited all over the place to cons. I can't go to any of them because of my situation.
No, but
next year's a different story.
Cover next year. Yep.
Yeah, it's a whole different story next year. So
yeah. Well, 2026. Jay, I saw you, Gary Con. I was unaware of your health issues, and I could tell that you were not the same Jay. I was like, what's going on? And then you let me know, and I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, I let you know. I'm sorry, I went a little off.
No, I was like, wow, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
Second sentence that Jay said to Phil.
I was like,
yeah. I do not want to be the guy driving around in the cart again with my Lord Gazumba flag flying around.
You were dangerous in that thing.
Yeah, I don't want to be that guy
Jay
again next year.
He was learning it. All the chairs and tables were in danger. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I was limping away at Page last year. I mean, I was hobbling. I was pumped up on painkillers because I hadn't had either procedure last year. But this year, I'm hoping that's all past me. So
yeah. Well, I personally wish you as much healing.
Yeah.
As you get this other procedure done, and it's August 12th.
Yeah.
That's 4 or 5 months.
What is the date actually? What's the first day? What is Thursday? Is that what day is that on?
For Page, January 15th.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
What's that your birthday or something?
I thought it was no. So the week before that, I'm going to have the whole upper part of my teeth ripped out and fixed.
Oh my God!
It should be interesting to see what. Well, insurance wouldn't cover it this year. I've had a lot of serious dental work I've had to get done. So much.
Are you getting all your teeth removed?
No, they're going to pull out about 3 or 4 that broke off, and then they're going to.
Oh, they're going to bridge them.
And then 2 root canals. Yeah, that.
And you're going to you're going to be miserable.
No, it's Paige. I'm gonna be happy.
Oh my God,
you go.
Man.
Oh, look at that. Like, yeah. Get high on life.
That's funny. Yeah, I think I have to go. I'll have to look and see when it is. I think it's that.
Yeah, that's good. Again, extra day to recover. So, and that's another story in itself as we move through. So, hopefully you.
Day to recover.
Yeah. Everyone looking forward to it. Enjoy the summer first, though, everyone. Right? Let's enjoy. The cons will get here. I know a lot of people are going to Gen Con, a lot of people are going to Origins, a lot of people are going to Game Hole. Wherever you go, just enjoy them. I know there's a lot of them coming up. Some of you are still going to PAX Unplugged. It's great. If you're meeting friends there. We're
going down to Mythicon and Charlotte.
Yeah, there's a ton of them coming up. And we still
Con in Columbus and Dayton, I think.
Yeah. The details for Virtual Ground Con will be going up shortly too, and that'll be the first weekend in October. It'll all be online. That's an easy one. We'll have that too. So that's coming. So any final thoughts from anyone here tonight? So look at that. We went well over 2 hours.
Well, Rob reminded me, and we've also got something going on for the next 3 months, sort of called the Summer of Siege, where we're going to be. Jay's going to actually. I'm actually going to run a game on here for Jay and his culprit friends, and it should be fun. But we're doing a lot of next 3 months. We're going to have a lot of streams going on, a lot of games and some stuff, and then we're going to finish it up in our Discord in August. I think mid-August we're going to have like a little miniature convention for 1 week and have some seminars and games and give out prizes and just play with the community.
Perfect time to do it, Chuck. I'm not on that. We're going to be on that week. I'm going to be recovering from the surgery. It's the perfect time to do it.
Right. Yeah. So it'll be good. It's going to be a good time this summer for us as well too. Plus we've got Well, we got the Adventurers backpack going on right now for that backer, Kent, and then we've got Barzoom coming this
There you go.
summer, late summer. So that'll be pretty cool too. So looking forward to Barzoom. That'll be fun.
Fantastic.
Anyway, yeah.
Phil, anything to say in closing?
Thanks.
No, other than, thanks again for having us on
Sure.
here. We really do appreciate you hosting us here and being such a cheerleader for Paige.
Of course.
And, a lot of our, we've done a lot of hard work. We've got a lot of hard work ahead of us still in the next couple of months, especially for myself, Ron and Ed, as we're trying to finalize the schedule here. Because remember, if you're a gold badge holder, you can start to begin registering for games July 1st. And that is literally right around the corner.
Yep.
So, our gold badge holders are chomping at the bit to be able to get in there and start building their schedules. And then a few short weeks after that, it'll be everyone else gets slotted in to be able to choose their game. So we are right now kind of basically shaking the tree, if you will, to try to get all of our submissions in, especially from our special guests.
Sorry. I want to thank you guys. One of the few things you'll see in the industry when going to conventions as someone who exhibits is if I run games, typically I can't sign up for games or if I get a chance to play in a game, I have to wait till after everybody else has gotten their games picked. Whereas at Page, they actually allow the volunteers and exhibitors and other folk, vendor and folk, to get their stuff a little earlier, which is really nice because we really don't have a lot of time as it is. And so I'm gonna start trying to. I have one game that I get to play in at GaryCon every year, and that's with Jay. And I'm gonna start looking for my one game at Page every year. Starting this year, I'm gonna start looking for.
Yeah, Chuck, about that next.
I'm excited about it. It's cool.
Chuck, about that next year.
Here it comes, the usual. Yeah. Listen,
I'm
Ed's already told me.
I am kidding.
Oh,
I'm
really?
kidding, Chuck. I'm kidding.
What Ed told me is, well, I can't talk about
Well,
it.
you're in that, yes, yeah. So, no, good point. Very good point. Ryan, anything in closing?
Jay, as always, we appreciate everything that you've contributed to Page from day one. Jay will tell you he had to take a restraining order out on me at the beginning because I said, "Hey, I really want to talk to you about this because we want you involved." And we're so glad that you have embraced the convention and you've done a lot for the convention. I mean, apparently you've parlayed whatever you're holding over Anna's head to force her to come to
but
Page.
it's so much fun, yeah, and I can really recommend it. And I literally flew across the country to go there, and it was fantastic in snowstorms. So
yeah, but no, we do appreciate it, and
of course,
and it's great. We appreciate Anna so much, Chuck. But we're seeing where we're at.
I appreciate you, Chuck. So compensate.
I know, and I appreciate you too, Anna.
One of the great stories from Page 2 is about the housing that we set up, and we got a suite for Chuck and Steven, and Steven threw him out of the room and told him to go get his own room.
This guy.
It's a true story, though. It's a true story. Apparently, Chuck talks too much and snores too much.
Yeah. So there are things that are not on my bucket list to do in the world, and that is one, sleep in the same room or building that Chuck's in. That's not on my bucket list.
And I have nothing negative to say.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you very
much.
much.
We camped out a couple of nights before Page because we were at travel.
They were at my house, and then there's in Deptford. There's a hotel.
We were
told
up there. We were going to stay at your house. We show up to some side of the road motel flop house.
Exactly.
We made it work.
They're referred to. They're around here. That's called the No-Tell Motel.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
No-Tell Motel.
This was not a bad place. It's the same. Oh,
never heard that before. It's awesome, dude. It's awesome. I gotta remember that.
But it was fun.
Two-star accommodations for Lord Gasumba's show. Yes. It's at the No-Tell Motel.
It was okay though. He had Tim out front running security most of the night.
Yeah,
Tim was
yes.
out there
Tim had his because he's his AK-47 with the bayonet on, which is illegal in New Jersey, but he had it on. So don't and with the laser scope. So he was set. Yeah, very cool. Well, Ron, of course, thank you all very much. Really appreciate you coming on. This was a great show. A lot of people are in chat. Like Star is going to try and figure out if she can get there. I know you live in southern U.S. That would be great. So Anna, what you got? Anything you want to shout out?
Oh, we can do that on Wednesday.
Okay.
So I've just enjoy the company here. It's
let me do this real quick.
Look forward to conventions so much. Yep.
On DM's Guild, doing Carthon's Magic Item Compendium. It's pay as you want, and it's like 5-to-1 free download to pay. I think there's 70 pays.
We have a link to it. Hang on a second. I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah, link it in chat. We need like 30 more. Even if you do 50 cents or $1 on each, there it is. He just did it. Get it to silver,
awesome.
get it to the point where we can do, what do you call it?
Print on demand.
Print on demand. That's what they want for it.
It's got to. Yeah, I think it's got to get. Is it got to get to silver for print on demand? I think that's what it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So it's getting. It needs like 30 more.
You will get a sale here in a second. So
yeah.
Yep.
So there you go. All right.
Yep.
Hey, Chiller. So that's that. Schedule for this week. Okay. Wednesday night. This will be a fun discussion. Greyhawk Potpourri A to Z. Another great Greyhawk Mike idea. You're going to give us someone's going to throw out a letter, and then we're going to do a whole bunch of what with that letter Greyhawk topics. And we'll go to the next one. Next one will be fun. That'll be a good one to do. That's number 299 as far as Legends of Lore goes. That's Wednesday night. Thursday night, I continue the super high-level halls of Lidless Shabbath. Man, they fought a lich, and the lich was just a servant last week. It was disgusting. Almost wiped the whole party. That's when my normal crew, printing goes ever on, sponsor giveaway that night. Then I got another game, another All-Star game Saturday morning. I got one slot I'm filling still, and that is Mages Everywhere. We got Coco, Tim, Phantom, Rob is on there, Korg the Mighty, and Chad, Johannes Van Wickman. And so that is Lynch Butler. It was a Lich ally, basically. And then the big one is coming up in 2 weeks after that, and that is my 24-hour stream. Why?
Oh, you're crazy man.
I am. Why do I do it?
We've got one coming too, though. So soon.
You're not running it. 24 hours?
No, we're not done. We're going to split it up between like 12 people.
Then that's lame. That's not 24-hour stream.
Yeah, the man died, but I appreciate his effort.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it.
Jay,
so.
Ron's going to be on there. Phil's going to be on there. Anna's going to be on there.
You know what? It doesn't matter. They're going to have a 24-hour stream, and Chuck's still going to be 2 hours late to it.
Oh man, that was rough.
I tell you what, man. I tell you what.
All right, let's do the two giveaways.
No love.
Let's do the two giveaways for Troller Games here. Exclamation point drawing. They're $25 gift certificates. Everyone, get in. I have them too. So we'll do that real quick, and then we're gonna rate into Darling, and we'll call it a night. And then thank you all for such a lovely, lovely stream on a Sunday night, and happy Father's Day to everyone. I'm going to hit the wrong button because I'm always hitting the wrong buttons here, I think. Give me 1 second here. Here we go. Close out in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Closing out. Here we go. First winner. Death OK. GH.
Yeah.
Second winner.
Congratulations.
Lomas Lightfoot. Let me make sure you're both on in chat, at least
Lomas.
lurking.
Death
Death OK's in, and Lomas is both in. You're both in. Congrats. I'll send them right out to both of you once I'm done all the post-stream stuff. Thank you all. Phil, thanks for coming on. Ron, thank you. Chuck, thanks for getting on. Darling and Bones, thank you. And Anna, of course. We'll see you all Wednesday night. No weird streams on Monday or Tuesday this week for me like last week, but so we'll see you Wednesday for Legends of Lore. Everyone enjoy your work week, unfortunately. So see you all soon. I'm gonna get the wrong button, hopefully not here. So alrighty. Raiding into Darling. Raid. I can't, man. You know what? I really dislike the way now you got to do a type search in for half of them, and it should not. There we go. See if we can get like 80 to 90 would be great. Put it well over 100. Look at that. There we go. Nice 88. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you Wednesday night. Thanks. Alrighty. Went good. Let me just shut stream off.